say touch it.
I don't know. You thought it.
There's no point of talking about an old '90s toy saying bop it, whatever the fuck. Like, there's no touch it on there, Alan.
Bop it.
Sorry, I'm not an expert on bop it like you are. Apparently.
Fucking touch it.
Fucking touch it. Just says it all up in the mic and shit too. Touch it.
Yes. Yes.
Should do like how fucking Gary does.
I don't want to play with this bop it anymore, Ma.
Just touch it.
Evil. Oh, hey, we found the sequel. We found the sequel to fucking Chucky. It's now a bop it toy.
Hold on, I just fucked up my whole thing. I'm gonna turn the music off. You know what happened?
What?
Well, I don't know if you can even see my fucking screen.
I see nothing but darkness.
Yeah, I know, because VLC is fucking up.
Why is there always a picture? Your VLC thing is always a picture of
Will, because
what's it called? The Will.
Yeah, because the last thing I watched before I saved all my settings was a Toast to Toast episode. So back in 2016.
Why?
You know what? That's a good question in general. Why does anyone watch Toast to Toast?
Look, somebody there's like 2,000 views per video. Somebody
I was there for that little rock character.
Oh Jesus Christ! Why
Dude,
stop kissing my ass with that?
No, I saw one episode of that. I saw 10 minutes of one episode, and I just texted, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. And I appreciate that. Because it was sorry. Good lord. People, how y'all doing today? It's the Chat Tech. I'm sorry for that whole fuck up at the beginning, but hey, it wouldn't be the Chat Tech without fuck ups. And I'm sorry, Will, if you watch this, your shit sucked. I was part of it too.
I mean, I even think he knows.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what'd you do with the circling, man?
What are you talking about?
It's like I'm stuck.
Oh, god damn!
Help me.
Hold on, I can fix that too. Jesus
Help me.
Christ.
Help me, I'm stuck in a little space.
I'm fixing it, Alan. I'm fixing it.
I see what it is. You saw the Joker movie. You saw the little person joke. You're like, well, I got a little person of my own.
No, I did not do that.
And he also lives in a society.
Anyways, people, goddamn, I'm fucking up a lot already. This is gonna be a really shitty show. How y'all doing? Alan, I'm gonna ask you first, man. How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in like 2 fucking days, especially since the whole Joker release and all that good stuff. How are you doing?
I've been busy as fuck. Like I had to do what? I don't know how many recordings I've had to do this week alone. So it's like, if I'm not like at work, I'm doing a recording. If I'm not doing a recording, I'm watching something for the recording. I saw Into the Tall Grass. Spoiler alert! It sucked.
Really, you gonna start off like that?
Oh, I'm gonna start off mostly because we did the recording today. It should be up in about a day or two. For one of us, by the way.
Yeah, no, fuck you. I hate.
Did you watch Into the Tall Grass?
I didn't know it was out, but since it's out, I'm gonna watch and enjoy it because I'm a fucking normal human being who's not an asshole.
Okay, we'll review it on Wednesday then.
Oh, okay, we can do that then. Now then, fuck you, fucking bitch. I don't know why I did Adam Sandler.
Trash ass fucking. I'm just waiting for the sequel, Into the Ball Pit.
Oh man, that's so fucking. Why do you keep pushing that?
That's stupid. But Into the Tall Grass is perfectly fine.
Dude, cool. Thank you so much, Ruthless. Once again, at Tula Kong.
Oh my God, learn how to read.
I just like fucking with them at this point. I love changing his name every single time. But no, and you're talking shit like how I'm dumb. But no, he makes a point here. Nick hates things harder, and you hate more things. It's always been that way.
No, it's never been that thing. You're just only doing that because it somehow makes you slightly better. That's the only thing you ever give a shit about. It's just being slightly better than the person in front of you.
You just knocked the shit out of Penelope with your ass.
Did I? I'm sorry.
Maybe I can go back there and get a clip of that. That was hilarious.
I'm sorry.
Because Alice, she did one of those boxer shakes, like, woo. Oh, shit.
Second move. Oh, Alan, why are you abusing your fucking pet dinosaur? Why was I about to say
dinosaur?
I don't know.
Why are you abusing your pet dino?
If it was a dino, I would slap the fuck out of it. Oh my god, dude. Anyways, I'm fixing Facebook right now. I don't know what the fuck's happening, y'all. Like I said, XSplit's weird. Do you like your face now, Alan?
Yes, my face is good.
Okay. Sorry.
I have some room to breathe.
You were like really stuck in there.
I was like so tiny. I'm like, what's going on?
I like them better in like the small circle because it look like.
Okay,
well,
it's okay,
like?
Jet, breathe.
I mean, dude, it was kind of funny.
We just fucking trapped him in there like a fucking goldfish.
His face is all up against the window. Like,
we just started tapping on him, just like, Alan.
He's like, let me out!
Oh shit! Like that the Aladdin salesman in the first half of the movie where the camera zooms in. Come on, a little too close.
Sorry, what racist
Yeah.
thing were you trying
No,
to get
I
at?
remember. Yeah. Oh, I didn't make that. That was Disney, sir.
I thought you were gonna
I
go for
said
a
what I
finding.
said.
I thought you were going for a Finding Nemo joke. I was waiting for it. I was just like, okay, I
Nah.
don't get that reference.
Alan is not really Finding Nemo. He's more like Marley, the
Yeah.
actual like adult fish.
Oh my god, I am so confused.
Gotcha,
'cause-
just stop all you.
That's
while you're
because
behind.
you don't watch enough
Yeah.
Disney, Diaz.
That's true.
I watch those movies, and I still know what the fuck you're talking about.
I watch your
Ganja stupidity is contagious. What can I say?
But anyways, Adrian, hey, thanks for watching over here. Bruce is up in there. I think that's all it. What the hell, people? Like, I know there's people watching, but they're not talking. I want you guys to talk. God damn it. Speaking of talking, someone else who hasn't talked yet, and I'm sorry, I'm used to a routine. I haven't said anything yet to you. Rox, how you doing? Hopefully you're actually there.
Baby.
I sneezed like 5 times in a row.
You should have just left that fucking mic on.
Nah.
I'm wondering, does she have like a guttural sneeze?
A guttural sneeze? What
I don't
the
know.
fuck does that mean?
I don't know, like, have you opened up a dictionary? You
Like
know
a
what guttural
dad
means?
sneeze?
Yeah, like an Alan
Like a
sneeze. I was
deep
trying to be nice,
baritone
Alan, but
sneeze?
fuck you. Like an Alan sneeze.
No, fucking
Yeah, just go with Alan sneeze.
are
Everyone knows what that
loud.
means.
Okay, well, let her talk though, Alan. What were you saying though, Rox?
Alan got some loud ass sneezes.
He really does. That's why I was like, that's why I'm mad. I don't want to be an asshole to Alan, but it's like, man, when Alan sneezes, it reminds me of like my dad, where he just would, and like old people too, like fathers or whatever, like they don't give a fuck like where the mist goes. They just go, and there's no
Yeah,
attempt
that's-
to like block the shit.
Wait, what are you
Those
talking?
Those are sneezes that make you angry, make you want to fight somebody.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah.
No, I always cover my sneeze or sneeze away.
Like even if you do cover your mouth, it's just like just the loud sneeze in general. Just like, man, I really want to fight you.
Okay, but here's the thing
Why?
though. Speaking of this,
Because it's like that's the sneeze that you think someone like if they do sneeze, they sneeze into their hand instead of like
you
in
shake
like
your hand afterwards.
yeah, that type of sneeze.
That is ridiculously specific.
Well, no, because people do that. Like when I was a kid, in school, there was like, make sure to sneeze into your hand, and it's like, well, that's still gross. So like, I mean, like me, I sneeze into my like my what's the opposite area from your elbow? Like on the other
Your
side. Of that,
inner arm.
I get
What?
an arm, an arm.
Inner arm.
I like an arm better because it's just less syllables. It's just like an arm.
The fucking bussy of the arm, whatever you want to call it.
Arm bussy.
Yes, arm bussy.
No, but like I
Arm
like sneezing into
boursois.
there. It's
And
man.
the boursois?
I'm so curious to see like what germs I have in that particular part of my arm. Like now I'm looking at it right now. I'm
Well,
like, dude.
if you've washed it, probably no more than the normal amount.
No, germs still stay around after you wash, dude. Like, dude,
Yeah, that's what I said. No more than the normal amount as long as you're washing up properly.
okay. Shit.
You're always covered in bacteria, head to toe, all the fucking time. It's just as you need to wash up so the bacteria doesn't grow more and more.
Okay.
I mean that might be for other people, but I'm different.
All right, so you want to hear something fucked up?
Sure. I'm
Oh,
scared.
God.
Science
here we
wise?
go.
All right, so apparently we all carry like these little like lice on our face. That their only goal in life is to eat like all the leftover oils in your skins.
Oh shit. That's
And
actually kinda
everyone's got them. Everyone. You have it right now on your face.
fucked up. No fucking way.
Yeah, all humans got these little fucking mites on their face that like suck up oil and just fuck on your face constantly.
Yeah, whatever.
So
The
if I lick my lips right now, I'm actually eating them.
To a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they're called face mites. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, dude. Like, man, fuck the internet, dude. Cause I'm looking through this and it's just like, oh, just the way they're saying it too. It's like, here's what we do know: Demodex mites are microscopic arachnids.
Yeah, they're spiders.
They're being the same genus as spiders.
So
Oh.
that's where they got the whole like, oh, you swallow about 3,000 spiders, whatever.
It's
Oh, no, that
mostly
was just-
20, but I don't
That's
know.
mostly just a myth because our food production allows a certain amount of like animal remains in there, and that includes like insects carcasses.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm licking my face right now, and I mean, I'm eating quite a few of them.
That's fucking gross.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was reading, apparently they're like really good for you to have a certain amount, but if you have like more than enough, that's what causes like the red flush in some people's faces when they're young.
Yeah, apparently they spend their days face down inside your hair follicles, nestled up against a hair shaft where you can't see them. Source to dead. Whatever the fuck that says. I know it's an abbreviation, but
So
yeah,
they're
man.
just fucking eating and fucking, and the best part is they have no anuses
Well, that's the best part. Wow, what great
because
advertising.
they're not shitting on you. They don't leave no evidence.
But then where
Yeah,
does it
'cause
go?
They're just backed up for life.
Oh, they just break it down and use every single part of it.
Yeah.
They have no waste products.
Yeah, man. Oh, Bach in the chat. He's saying justice for Kofi. Yeah,
Who?
Kofi Kingston. He's a wrestler that everyone, all these wrestling nerds that follow us, love a lot. I love him a lot too. Apparently, last night on SmackDown, because WWE is now on Fox. I mean, normally I wouldn't be talking about wrestling, but this is kind of
Wait,
interesting.
on Fox News or just regular Fox?
Just Fox. But the thing is, though,
Okay.
it's like, yeah, man, Brock Lesnar was on there, his first television wrestling match in a long ass time, and he beat Kofi Kingston in 10 seconds, which is a huge fuck you to everybody who paid tickets to go see this shit. But then the main issue about this too is that like they did the whole show almost like a sports broadcast. So you know how you guys don't like wrestling because it's kind of fake and it just kind of looks silly and everything. Imagine
yeah,
if,
Nick, I hate wrestling, as I said 100 times.
I'm not saying that. What? See how you always start arguments like that? What the fuck?
Because you always fucking look at me and go, "You hate it, don't you?" I'm like, no.
No.
Alan, stop putting the target on yourself. I love
Yeah,
it.
he
Shut
did
up.
it.
No one asked
again.
you, motherfucker. Go eat a grape.
And by the way, he did it like twice before this part, and I haven't called him out, but like already 3 strikes with the target, and it's only been like 10 minutes.
I'll kill you.
But anyways, fucking but no, like that's one of the things that people don't like to watch wrestling because it's so fucking cartoony. Well, imagine if it was just as cartoony and they took it super seriously too. Like, there's no comedy in it. It's just like, hey, this guy's gonna fight this guy, and this guy weighs this much, and this guy's that tall, and it's like a boxing match, and then it's gonna end in 10 seconds, and it's all fake, by the way. It's fucking ridiculous. So, and then you got this other dude, Cain Velasquez, to go up in there too. So they got like a fake UFC little like fisticuffs. It's awful. People watch wrestling on Wednesdays, fuck Mondays and Fridays. Like, my God, dude. I totally get it, like, from Adrian and everyone else's point, too, that, like, man, stop talking about wrestling. It's like, no, now I understand. Now I get it. So I am sorry for doing that, and there'll be no more of that, unless we do Ringside Hangout. But aside from that, there's so much things to talk about right now. Joker being one of the biggest ones. We're going to be reviewing that at the end of the show. And that might be one of the biggest topics we're going to talk about versus everything else. Because, good Lord, we know the Joker talk is going to be forever. Really quick, too, speaking of that, are we all about, like, no spoilers tonight, or is spoilers okay?
You know,
Alan
that's such a weird thing. This is a difficult movie to spoil. I think you can spoil a few parts, but no spoilers. The movie just came out.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. I say spoilers.
Yeah,
No,
because
the
we
movie
burned John
just
James
came out.
Yeah, we'll hold off on spoilers. It'll be a good exercise as far as reviewers because
And
we're not really
we can-
reviewers.
And plus, we can easily, like, honestly, except for maybe some parts near the end, we could easily kind of go through this movie. Hey, guess what? The Joker killed people.
Yeah.
Is that really a
What?
spoiler? We can easily talk about this movie without going into the specifics.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But first of all, man, the first thing I want to talk about big time is this video game thing. We never really talk about video games too much on this show, especially because we do the Untitled or not Untitled, goddamn,
Do we?
unnecessary gaming show. Wait, were you saying do we?
Yeah, do we? I haven't seen a show up in a while.
Yeah, we did like 3 last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
must
you
have-
just
were
don't
you?
show up, motherfucker.
You don't text me.
I literally text Jet.
What?
You hear that shit? You guys
What?
don't text me. You guys don't tell me there's a gaming show. You don't do it. I'm Jerry Seinfeld for some reason. Why do I do this voice for? Anyways, Alan, no, we did tell you.
Wait, why'd you call my name?
Because I wanted to see if you knew I was talking about, but I figured you didn't. Because you were like, what?
No, I'm just like, well, you gonna ask me.
No, like, okay, it's based on what you just said. Don't we tell them that we do a gaming show?
Yeah, you'll mention it.
Yeah, see?
No, you didn't. I'm looking at our PMs and I didn't see a single mention.
No, you've responded
in the
to
main
them.
chat.
Yeah, in the main chat. And you responded to him. And you said you won't be able to come. You literally said it. So
I was talking about something else.
oh my fucking god. Anyways, all right, people. But gaming show wise, Miss Marvel apparently has joined the roster of Marvel's Avengers game. And here's the thing: I don't give a fuck about Miss Marvel at all, and it's mainly because of the only thing that I know about Miss Marvel is the fucking the movie with Brie Larson.
Well, okay, so that's it's real. Okay, this is one of those situations in which I don't actually know the breakdown, the breakdown, but what it is these are not the same person. It's
Yeah.
just Captain Marvel is a title, Miss Marvel is an actual person. That's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah, actually. And yeah, apparently this person is Kamala Khan. That's her original name in the comic books, I believe, too. So
Yep.
I'm looking at this right now. Like the way it looks. I like her. I like her character. I like the voice actor behind what this character. But my only issue here, and so okay, first of all, I'm just gonna get your opinion before you leave, Alan, because I am gonna spoil something huge here. But what do you feel about this trailer? What you saw, and what do you think about the idea of Miss Marvel actually being part of the Avengers in this game?
I think that it's one of those situations in which we've had the established Avengers for so long of what people normally know. And this gives it a chance for characters that people don't know anything about to actually get the spotlight. Now, they say that she's the main character, but that's main in, like, she's probably just part of the main roster, and they're gonna give her more story than maybe some of the other people to add in. But it's like, yeah, you're still gonna be playing as all the Avengers. It's just she might be the first person you play as part of the tutorial, for instance. And I actually think it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I honestly, that's the thing. I know nothing about the character in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just more curious, like, hey, who is this character? How is she? Why does she have the name Ms. Marvel? Is she related to Captain Marvel in any way? Is it just like, hey, she got the same powers in the same place, so they gave her that? So I am really curious. I'm more of just surprised they picked that character because of her background. Her background is she's Muslim. As the friendly people in the comments will let you know. And by friendly, I mean horribly fucking racist, because they're just doing as many, all the jokes you can fucking think of are going to be there. It's like, oh, is Pork the main villain? Are we going to have to stop the game 5 times a day so she can pray? I bet she explodes at some point.
I'm writing these down.
Why?
Just finding out new ways to piss him off or whatever.
Anyway, I think the trailer looked fine. I like the character reveal. I'm just, again, I want to play this game because I do have issues where I'm like, this might just be Ultimate Alliance again. But I am curious to see what it is. But I watched it on mute, so if there was a spoiler in it, I missed it, because I watch most of the videos on mute sometimes when people send it to me.
Yeah, and by the way too, like, before we even get into the spoiler, I actually went down in the comments and I cannot find the racist, because I'm curious. I wanted to show it, but I couldn't find it. But the main thing that I did see is that twice, 2 of the top comments were, the spoilers. So you were probably just looking for those mean comments, like, where the fuck are these guys?
I watched it on Facebook.
Oh, okay, it makes sense.
I didn't watch it on YouTube. Because I didn't even know it was going to happen until I saw it on Facebook. It's like, wait, Miss Marvel? Okay, let me check it out. Oh, this looks really, really cool.
Why do men fear the uprising of women being strong superhero characters now? Like, we had a good 20 years run, y'all. It's time to share the space.
I don't understand. It's like, oh, it's pandering. I'm like, motherfucker, are you blind? Like, that shit was pandering to us.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, some of these.
Hey, well, the thing is, don't tell them that, because then they'll get their one friend who's a girl to say, like, yeah, I don't really like girls in these movies either. I hate female-led movies.
Well, the state of the female driven superhero movies, like, what are your feelings on them, Jet? Because I know that you had an issue with Avengers Endgame and the way they did it, but do you feel like that way about these other movies like Wonder Woman, etc.?
I didn't mind Wonder Woman. Like, the thing is, most of the time they're just written badly. And most of the time they're not even written by women.
Yeah, exactly.
Who probably don't even talk to girls that often. They just have this weird thing in their mind, just like, this is what a girl, if I did talk to a girl, this is how she would be. She'd be obsessed with sex and basically talk about the main character nonstop.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't really remember that being too much of the case for Wonder Woman. I've seen other things done like that. But, like, my main thing, too, is, like...
A lot of animes are guilty of that trope.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the reasons I fucking hated anime, was because of the
And the ones that don't do that are the fucking slice of lives with the little girls and shit, and they're the most boring pieces of shit ever.
And then you have Full Metal Alchemist. That's awesome.
Yeah, oh, I don't want that one. But yeah,
That's you're wrong.
probably.
He likes it for girl puppies.
No, I feel like many people.
Oh, I'll fucking fight you next time I see you.
No, that's the thing. Like, Full Metal Alchemist actually does know how to write good female characters. It was created by a woman. Like, all the female characters in there are actually written well.
You know what? I got a good question then. How about this? Everyone bashes the fuck out this anime. And I'm going to ask everyone in this room, including the women.
If you talk about Sword Art Online, I'm going to stab you.
No, I don't even know what the fuck that is, but thank you.
That is a shitty show.
Inuyasha, is it good or bad?
God, it's bad.
Inuyasha is good to an extent. Like, it's like most of it is basically very nostalgia based, and it's a cute romance show, if we're gonna be honest here.
No,
romance wise, it's actually written pretty well.
True.
Well, yeah, I mean, doing anything romance, live action, cartoon, anime, whatever, I think that that's where most of the prominent storytelling for just single characters would be. Like, I know you don't like romance, and I don't like romance either, Alan, but I mean, you don't agree that a romantic anime won't be pushing characters better than a horror one would, or a combat one would, or something?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I like romance. I just think Inuyasha is fucking trash.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I watched it when it came out. I'm like, this is some bullshit. What the hell is this?
Inuyasha was also created by a woman, and you can basically tell, because I don't know, if you guys noticed this, but there's no upskirt scenes in that show whatsoever. Even with fucking Moroku with his stupid.
Okay, there's not upskirts,
but that guy motherfucker keeps grabbing people's asses. That always fucking piss me off.
But that's the one thing I want to add, Alan, is he does that, but the society around him and the civilization around him is like, no, that is nasty, pervy behavior. Now get your ass kicked.
I'm so surprised
it's never just accepted like in a lot of animes. We're like, oh, the guy grabbed your ass? Well, that's just the slice of life.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, too, it's like
But he keeps doing it, and the girl keeps sticking around.
it's a thing that does happen though, as far as grab ass.
Well,
know,
the one
but
girl
the same-
the one girl who did stick around basically did end up marrying him, having like 3
Yeah, what the
kids.
fuck?
But the thing is, Alan, like you got to see one, the character changes throughout the season, so that actually becomes less a frequent thing.
Well,
And
I'm
two,
glad the sexual assaulter got better.
It's well, at least the anime calls him out. Like, there's a lot more shit that's guilty of not calling the character out.
Just because some
And
animes
don't get
do
me
worse
wrong,
doesn't mean I gotta
I
forget.
fucking can't stand Moroka. I think he's probably one of the worst characters in that fucking show. But yeah, he's pretty terrible.
Yeah, like that's
but
the
he
thing,
fucking sucks.
it let it because again by that
Did
point
he get
anime-
better? Did he get better? Yeah. Did he get the shit beat out of him for doing what he does?
Yeah, but it was that fucking like, oh ha ha ha, let's just do the quick like me punching ganja. I'm not trying to beat the shit out of him, I'm just being like playful. It's like, oh ha ha ha, you grab my ass, I'm gonna do a quick like fucking bonk on your head, and we're gonna forget it happened until 30 seconds later, in which you do it again.
Yes, exactly like me and you.
And Contra grabs his ass a lot, y'all. So you guys.
I'm constantly reaching for Kate.
But yeah, okay. I'm gonna ask Ross really quick too. Is like, what is your feeling on the whole world of female-driven superhero movies? Because I don't like them so much, and I'll get into that in a little bit.
For me, the biggest problem that I seem to have is how, like Jet mentioned, like how they depict women. Typically, it's like someone who's scantily clad, likes everything that every dude does. Like, oh, she's like one of the guys. I almost said she smokes beer. She drinks beer, smokes
I mean,
weed.
that would be impressive.
Like, she drinks beer, smokes weed. She puts it all away, but she's still out here kicking ass.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
there's a bit more to it. Where's what's her backstory? Why does she dress or do the things that she does? I want them to, like, dig a little bit deeper, but typically that's not the case.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing too. Is like that. You said it perfectly in the beginning. It's just like, yeah, she's like one of the guys. It's like, okay, why is that such a compliment that you're one of the guys? Like, can't she just be one of the chicks? Like I don't know. That's kind of a thing that's like, it's just weird to me.
But there's this weird mindset that basically being like a regular girl liking makeup and not knowing what superhero shit is, or basically being in the girly shit is some sort of weakness or whatever. And they're just like, no, I don't want to be like them. Guys are the only ones who actually get me. Like, bitch.
By the way, do we know if Supergirl is written by a man or a woman?
That is a good question. I've not looked up into like that's probably one thing I don't know about a lot of the shows I watch is specifically the writing staff.
Well,
I
because
look
they
into the
change
directors.
between seasons too. That's
Yeah, they changed the episodes even. I want to say that for the most part, they probably have at least a decent diversity. But yeah, no, like what I like about Supergirl is actually a lot of the stuff they're talking about. Like, I'm not saying Supergirl's perfect. I think Supergirl has a lot of fucking flaws, but they never sit there and try to depict her as like what Brock's or what Jet's saying. Oh, she's one of these. Like, oh, she still does a lot of she has a lot of female friends. She has a lot of male friends, but she never sits there and tries to act like the dude. She's just acting like a normal woman.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and this is one of the writers. There's 3 writers or 3 creators, I guess.
Okay.
Part of it. She's Allie Adler. So I don't know what season she actually got to work on, or whatever. But the other guys is Andrew something and Greg, and right away that's an issue. You got 2 guys doing this fucking thing when it's Supergirl. Should be probably at least 2 women and then 1 guy. But like one of the things I used to argue with you a lot, Alan. I'm not trying to like bring up old fucking arguments between you. But one of the biggest things is I tried to watch Supergirl, and like the second episode, I remember second or third episode, she was looking for clothes, like for a date. She was like really nervous, like, oh my god, I need to go and I need to get like lingerie because Matt or whatever the fuck this dude's name's gonna be here, and I want to look really nice and sexy for him. Oh my god. And she does this shit. I'm like, okay, for one, you just like saved 120 people from a burning plane. Like you were in space, dude. Like you were in the sky. Why do you give a fuck about panties?
Well,
Like,
because at the end of the day, she puts her cape down and she's trying her best to be a normal person in society. Like, that's the thing we argued about is her desperate. She's basically not so much desperate, but she wants to be a human just like everyone else is. But she understands she has incredible power. Like Supergirl season 1 is trash. They really go more into it in season 2. I fucking hate season 1. But the whole point of season 1 was to showcase that she's basically for the most part a normal person. Her incredible power is something she has had to hide for basically most of her life. She's just now starting to basically accept that she is able to do super stuff.
Okay, but here's the thing. See, she's stupid because if I had superpowers, I'd be all happy. Like, damn, like I don't want to do all that normal shit. I want to fly around and shit. Like, rip to Supergirl, but I'm different.
Well, she actually does want to do the flying around, but everyone kept telling her not to because the government might come and take her, to which they immediately
What
do.
are they
so,
gonna
yeah.
do? Beat her ass?
I mean, yeah, they got kryptonite. They will beat her ass. They did multiple times.
Well, I mean, they keep bringing Superman back, so they didn't kill him. So
I mean, like another thing too, and Rock's gonna ask you this too. About that particular scenario that was just given, about the whole like her giving a fuck about lingerie or how some date's gonna go with her and some dude. Do you feel like that's beneath a character who has experienced like death right in front of her fucking face and fire and explosions and shit? Like, do you think that's kind of stereotypical or nah?
It's well, depending on how you go about it, but typically it is presented in a very stereotypical manner. But I guess it sort of brings in, if done right, maybe some form of relatability. Like, oh, she's just like me. She also has guy problems, and I don't know,
She too
fucking
wants
can't find the
peanuts.
right shade of makeup.
Yeah, that.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to be relatable in a way.
Yeah, I guess.
There's-
It really bothered the fuck out of me. And like Jed, I know you didn't watch Supergirl, but I mean that particular scenario that I just gave. Like, what do you feel about that? Do you feel like that was a little stereotypical or not?
am I going getting makeup and shit?
Yeah, like I mean, because I'm making a big deal out of it, but you feel like that's just me being Nick.
Well, I'm not gonna be flying around and shit with my makeup not done or whatever.
Oh Jesus Christ!
She right though.
Again, it's like the equivalent
Looking
of
dusty as hell and shit. Like, I go on say one, they're just like, ugh, did you get enough sleep?
again, it's trying to be similar to how Smallville is, where it's like, yeah, he's able to run around and do all sorts of stuff, and he's like, fuck, how am I gonna pay my rent? Shit, like,
Yeah.
or shit, man, I gotta go to this date
You know
tonight. Do I
what?
look good? Like, yeah.
Speaking of which, like, something that really, really pisses me off with I'm pretty sure they don't do this in Supergirl, but I did notice it in fucking Powerpuff Girls. They didn't get paid for their fucking work.
Mhm.
And in one episode in particular made me so fucking mad. It was one having to do with Father's Day or whatever, and the girls were just like, "Hey, can we get an allowance for saving the world and the town and all that?" And the mayor's just like, "Yeah, how much do you want?" And then they basically just want enough to get these fucking golf clubs for the professor, and they're just like, $200.
Like I just
like,
saved everyone's ass right now.
Yeah, but they're also like, man. There's also supposed to be that everyone just sees them as kids, no matter what they do. So they're like, we're not gonna give you money. You're kids.
Like, bitch, they could have at least just given them the fucking golf clubs for free to just give to them as a fucking present. Like, that shit pissed me off so bad. And the episode ended where fucking
Hey,
Blossom...
as someone that grew up without an allowance, I get it.
The episode literally ended with Blossom going to fucking jail because she decides to steal the golf clubs and shit.
Yeah, theft
Like-
is a criminal offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is also
they
destroying a
deserve those
building.
fucking- they deserve those fucking golf clubs. If they weren't doing shit,
That's
you know how
not
many
how
people
it
would be
works.
dead? You know how many people would be fucking dead? If this was in the real fucking world, they would have a
If
GoFundMe.
this is in the
by
real
now.
world, they'd be
Okay,
taken
they would
down by
have
the
a
U.S.
GoFundMe.
military.
But like in the real world, they wouldn't get shit for for them saving the city either.
They'd get paid for
That's
it.
how we do corrupt cops.
No,
We're
they
like, well, I
wouldn't.
saved.
Yes, they would. They would totally get paid for it because they've been hired for it.
No, they would have to be part of a regulated fucking part of the police force. Which, good luck with that shit.
You know what? I can
Well, you know what?
see
Then they
them-
should do that then.
I can
So
see
you
the-
want them to be cops? You want the Powerpuff Girls to be
They
cops?
need to be something. They need to be
No,
paid for
no,
their
no.
work. They need to be paid for their goddamn work.
They're
deserve
paid by allowed to
fucking
live under the house.
legit. I can see them being charged with assault because there's sometimes they kick Mojo's ass for no reason.
What do you mean? There's an episode in which one of my favorite episodes is there's a lot to it, but they're like, oh, make everyone in the town cry. So they just go beating the shit out of all the civilians to try to make them cry.
What the
It's actually kind of hilarious where you're seeing Buttercup just punch the shit out of some random person to try to make them cry.
My favorite is when they kick the dog's ass.
I really need context. Like you guys are just saying shit. Like,
This is such
when
a
kick the
weird
dog's
show.
ass-
It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
but
like,
I'm
it
glad.
sounds amazing.
You act like context will save you. Like it
They
is just as weird as we're describing,
They
sir.
they do everything for these goddamn people that basically does not have to do with fighting monsters as well. And one day they decide, like, I'm not doing it anymore. You guys do your own shit. You guys got
Well,
police
okay, but the
officers
thing
and
is-
everything. They didn't know how the fuck to take care. Those town people didn't know how the fuck to do anything without their goddamn help. Give them those goddamn golf clubs.
It's a showcase that one of the reasons you should be actually helping people is not for personal gain, but because you want to help people to make sure they don't get hurt. So that whole episode, as comedy as it's supposed to be, is a showcase of girls like, hey, don't sit there and save people because you expect to get a reward. You say that because you are able to help.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. Why don't you go to your fucking job and shit and not get paid for doing your work?
I'm not
Yo,
saving anyone's life. Am I?
Yo, Ruthless legit. The Powerpuff Girls will be fascist tools of a white nationalist ethno state. Harbingers of Taylor Swift in the end times. Yep.
Man, that guy's Ruthless is so dramatic.
No, he's right. Powerpuff
No,
Girls.
you're dramatic
Yeah.
too.
Wait, hold on. By the way,
No,
Chief,
think about
don't defend Ruthless as far as dramaticness goes, because this dude starts off with, "We are watching. We are the
Yeah,
gods."
that's the bit though.
No, I know. But he's dramatic. Like, I love it. It's a
I know,
No,
but
no.
he's also dramatic.
My
motherfucker, I
favorite,
know.
it comes from Alan, who I had to tell him, hey man, you know you're not writing like a book when you write these subjects and titles for the entitled
Well,
video game, right?
that's why I stopped because you wouldn't fucking let me do it anymore.
I knew this man lost his mind when he put they in there.
Hey,
I mean,
what?
Yeah, it was a fancy ass they. I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
Oh, die, like THY?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said it.
I was like, man, what the fuck is he talking?
You know, it's funny.
Dude, I
He
gotta
kept he would keep texting me afterwards. I changed it, and I would just see like one sentence. I'm like, you just deleted everything I wrote. I'm like, yeah, because this isn't the gray. What the fuck
You
are
know
you
who
doing?
else didn't get paid for their fucking work?
Me?
They were doing everything for everybody.
You?
SpongeBob with those goddamn inflatable pants.
No, 'cause
Fuck them.
To be honest, with SpongeBob wasn't. We never saw him get one paycheck working at the Krusty Krab, though.
Oh no,
he
oh,
did.
no,
he
has
gets paid,
a
he
he
gets
pays
paid like
rent.
shit. He
Yeah.
gets paid terribly.
But is he fucking happy though? Yes, and he gets paid.
That's
with
happy because he's
getting
flipping
paid.
fucking burgers.
No, 'cause
like
he's crazy. He's like
Yeah.
Joker. There's something
Oh,
like you could just hear
Jesus
SpongeBob in the back, like just like
That was
laughing
the-
in the background. That's fucking SpongeBob. So yeah, I feel like SpongeBob is like the king of incels. Okay?
What the hell are we
He's
talking about?
SpongeBob's best friend is Sandy goddamn Cheeks. He's not an incel.
No, they were fucking. They're not friends.
No, they weren't.
They were probably fucking. Or at least.
All
Patrick
right,
McGinnis
so
was.
the first 2 seasons, it seems like they're going that route with Sandy and SpongeBob, but they dropped that now.
They
Yeah,
tried.
they're
They
just
tried
fucking
making
friends.
They tried making a fucking joke about it in
Yeah.
a later episode, saying like, "Yeah, remember when me and Sandy got married? What?
Damn,
No,
so
you guys-
people were shipping since fucking 2002. Like what the fuck?
Yep.
Yikes. Anyways, SpongeBob's fucking ridiculous. So is Powerpuff Girls. I don't know why all
I'm
of
just
us
saying,
adults are talking about fucking
This is
Powerpuff
the
Girls.
same shit that happened in that fucking SpongeBob episode too. He got those inflatable pants. Everyone was making fun of him, saying, "You can't fly. You're not gonna fly. You're a piece of shit. You stay on the ground like the fucking piece of shit sponge that you are." And then when he finally started flying and shit, everyone
So-
was asking him for all that shit and took advantage of him. All he wanted to do was like, "I just want to go fly with the fucking jellyfish. You guys keep bothering me. No, you owe us fucking favors."
So
You had
basically,
him manage your fucking checkbook while he was just flying. You didn't even need to fly for that.
Jets with the Sokovia Accords, basically register every superhero so they can get paid.
Yeah.
Pay them their fucking money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you care so much, but if all this passion was put into real life, like economic issues with people not getting paid the way they should
Give
be,
them their
you'd be
fucking
fucking in a
coin.
really good spot. But
Hey man, we do try that. It's just people want to get tips because they think they're getting more money.
Oh God, don't get me started on that.
I almost like to see Ganja go on his communism thingy, because when he does, there's always like this one little bit, like a week later, that happens where like his whole party or whatever the fuck they do some shit that's capitalistic as fuck, and I'm like, remember last week? And he's like, well, man, I mean, it's still a business. We gotta do what you gotta do, man. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I don't believe in that communist shit.
Fucking
Goddamn it.
Unpaid. This
You
unpaid.
do!
This unpaid fucking child
Kinda.
labor bullshit.
You love weekends, Nick. I have you already.
I don't know what a weekend is anymore. I work more on the weekends than I do on the fucking weekdays.
Yeah,
God
actually,
damn it.
same here. My
That's my
Saturdays don't exist as far as free time. I wake up and I have to do like 6 recordings and then the midnight chat tag, then the after hours.
You damn right.
And
all
then I
these
feel like
fucking
shit.
all these fucking little girls and little boys doing this superhero shit. I ain't seen no fucking coin because they want to get off on doing fucking
Actually,
child
as
labor
much
and
as-
shit.
I know it's gonna sound weird, and Nikki uses this as a jump off to the next topic, but that's actually a really interesting thing of why Spider-Man did as well as he did, is because every single superhero prior to Spider-Man was a rich billionaire. Batman, Iron Man, Superman, he never fucking needed money anyway. Thor was a Asgardian, he didn't have any concept of currency anyway. Every single hero was well off. So when Spider-Man came on the scene and he's broke, everyone's like, a broke superhero? That was unique at the time because every superhero was paid off and could do all this stuff. So seeing this guy that's basically having to make his own stuff out of like nylon and spandex and basically going out and saving and struggling to pay rent and struggling to actually do stuff and debating whether or not saving people was better than getting a part-time job so he can get his apartment was something that was really aesthetically pleasing to people because like, oh, this is a struggle that we can deal with.
I mean,
You're
the thing is, he did use his superhero-ness to basically get paid.
Well, he eventually had to, as a compromise, is he would take pictures and sell to the Daily Bugle, but he was still struggling because that was only bringing in so much.
Honestly, it is an innocent content. Like, hey, take these photos of myself beating up criminals.
It's like feet pics.
Which, by the way, that's still kind of shitty because what he was doing was basically taking advantage. Like, dude, there's nobody else that can compete with him with that. He could fucking go in the goddamn air and no one else can get pictures of Spider-Man.
Okay,
So,
but that's why he
fuck
got
Peter
he got
Parker.
paid like
He
shit
cheated,
though.
He cheated his way to the top, Alan. He's a piece of
He
shit.
didn't cheat his way to the top because Jay Jameson knew that the only way
Wait,
he
Jenna
could get those
Jameson?
Jenna
What?
Jameson. I'm about to say Jay Jameson. My bad. Okay.
So I never
Fucking
saw that
J.J.
one.
Abrams.
Anyway, J. Jonah Jameson knew that the only way that he could get those
I'm sorry, Alan.
Shut up. Anyway, the only way to get those photos is if he's friends with Spider-Man. That's why he paid him like shit, because he knew that it was a racket.
Baby lotion. Jenna Jameson runs the Daily
The
Planet.
Daily Bugle, motherfucker.
The Daily Bagel. What?
Bugle. It's the Daily Bugle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like tips.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck any of this shit. Jenna Jameson wants pictures of Spider-Man.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna look up other fucking child superheroes and shit that don't get paid for their work.
Oh, I don't. And by the way, this is what I was gonna jump off really quick. I want to hear you say anything because you got an iPhone 7 or whatever the fuck, iPhone 11. I'm so old. You got one of those fucking things, and you know that kids in factories are busting their ass making those fucking devices so you can go over there and scroll through.
Yeah,
faces
let me just go
faster.
ahead. Let me just go ahead and buy a plane ticket over there. Just march in there and say, "Hey, give these people the pay that they're fucking deserve." They're gonna shoot my ass.
You're supporting the horrible like modern day slavery. These kids don't even fucking get to look at these phones. They're just making.
Do you honestly think I'm gonna sit here and go like, yeah, they shouldn't get paid. They shouldn't get paid the amount that they should be paid and shit. Like,
Yeah.
give them their fucking money.
It's their money and they want it now. Oh my god. No, here's the thing. I'm just joking. I'm not talking shit about people who have iPhones, but at the same time too, it's like, hey, you know.
If that were the case, then fucking take off your clothes right now, because your shit was made in a fucking sweatshop.
No, my shit was probably made in a place where people are all fancy and they have tons. And by the way,
Well, did you pay
I'm pretty sure
$4,000
people
for
making
it?
I'm pretty sure people making fucking Corn and Slipknot shirts weren't making them into some
No,
fucking
machines do
fancy
that.
crap.
Machines do that. I actually looked into it. I was very curious one day.
Sure.
Like,
Well, okay, machines do make a lot of the low stuff, but the people that actually get them the proper material to put in the machines still slave labor.
and
That's
you know
why
what? They
it's just
deserve
means
it.
of
No, it's
production.
fine.
We take the means of productions. That way we get rid of the exploitation out of the human labor aspect, and everyone gets all the goods and services provided equally.
I love this. Ruth says, I heard Jonah Jameson teamed up with J.J. Abrams to merge the Daily Bugle with Backpage. They still want Spider-Man pictures, just, different ones. Oh my god, yeah. That's some good fanfic, actually.
At least I serve a free iPhone. Okay, Harold Ford.
What?
That's the Ford principle. Like, yeah, we'll exploit you to death, but we'll also give you one of the free cars.
Here's the thing, though, guys. Because I want to get into the after hours so soon. I mean, we got like some other topics about like Angry Bird sneakers and all that shit. But you know what? Fuck it.
Who cares?
I want to just get this joke because I literally have like nervousness over this Joker thing because I feel like.
I won't shoot you.
Well, yeah, you will. And another thing too
You're
is
right.
like I have a feeling more so than you for once. I might get really fucking mad with Ganja. I feel like it's gonna happen. So. Let's just jump right into it. I'm going to ask you guys really quick. What did you guys expect before seeing this movie? Because we talked about it a few times, but, so many trailers came out, so much news came out.
Well, since you guys are talking about this, I'm going to go get a soda.
Okay.
Jet, go watch the movie. Stop being spoily.
I love that internet thing you like.
Really?
Spoily?
I don't think that's a
What
word,
is
dude.
spoily?
You're spoiling my time. Stop it. Go watch the movie.
Oh.
What?
Don't listen to him.
Don't listen at all. Anyways, I'm gonna ask y'all one more time, Ganja and Alan, man. I'll start off with Ganja.
What's
what
up?
were you expecting when it came to this, man? Before you saw the movie.
All right, so honestly, I was expecting something to try to be Taxi Driver the whole time, or something in the vein of, look, I saw all these cool fancy films from the 70s and 80s. I'm now gonna show you, like, I can make those films, but with the Joker on top of it. What? Oh, yeah. Honestly, to a certain degree, it was that. Like, there's definitely some Martin Scorsese jacking off going throughout this film, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought it was gonna be on the level of some shit like A Story in L.A. or some shit. The movie that came out recently with Brad Pitt and the dude loves feet.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be that bad with it, but no. Obviously, when it happened, I rolled my eyes and I cringed a little bit, but it wasn't to that extent.
Rox, what did you feel about this movie? I actually didn't talk to you at all about this. Were you expecting something good? Were you hyped about it? How'd you feel about this before watching it?
My first thought was my theater's gonna get shot up. My second thought was, no, I'm being honest. I saw some sketchy ass people standing outside my movie theater.
Yeah,
My second thought was, this is basically gonna be someone jacking off to the Joker for like 2 hours. I'm gonna cringe. I'm gonna fucking roll my eyes. But like I just said, there were some moments there where he was slowly jacking off onto the camera. You know, we had that jacking off cinematography, but I enjoyed myself.
Okay, so were you jacking off? Like, I
Yes.
enjoyed myself. All this jacking off under the
I
camera.
was
mean,
right
with
in
all
the
this
corner,
jacking off, you
jacking
might as
off.
well.
I can't keep the schmeat contained, Diaz.
Oh God, not the sweet. Alan, how about you, man?
I remember being the most vocal hater of the movie because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, take out 2 fucking references to Gotham, and this could just be some random fucking indie movie. They just threw Joker on because they knew wouldn't be able to sell it otherwise. So walking into the movie, I was just like, okay, this is just gonna be hatred the video game, the movie. Like I was just like, okay, it's gonna be some guy who's fucking yelling in his apartment, saying, "Oh, fuck society," yada yada, and the whole movie is gonna make it so that he's right and that society is actually terrible, and that if you're in society, you should just hate it because fuck you. And then watching it, I was like, oh wait, no, it has those elements, but not in the way that I expected it. So I kind of walked out going, this is. I walked in thinking this is gonna be a random indie movie that has Batman elements into it. I walked out saying this is still a random indie movie with Batman elements, but I appreciate it for it.
Yeah, because that's the thing, you know. So after 3 years, you finally get another chance to see Joker in action, and this time, and this is the thing that kind of sold me on it the most, is that it was actually just the Joker. There's no Batman, no Harley Quinn, nothing else holding the dude back from doing the shit that. I mean, we want Joker to have the spotlight, and I feel like the last few things that he was on, even Dark Knight to an extent, he doesn't really get the spotlight. He's always sharing it with somebody else and over this bigger spectrum of story. So that was something that I was like, okay, right away, I'm fucking sold. The only contrast to that, though, is just the fact that, you know, people were probably expecting, or at least the audience I'm going to go see this, they're expecting this to be straight up like Joker from, you know, like this character that's been built up since 1940. Like, holy shit, I can't wait for all this stuff to culminate into this like main fucking story. And instead, I mean, what we got was basically the guy did this. I think he did Hangover 2 and 3. Todd Phillips.
He did all the Hangover movies, and I
He
think
did the first one too.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
I looked it up because I'm like, this motherfucker's made nothing but trash. Like, I like the first
Well,
Hangover, but like, he's made a lot of garbage movies.
But originally, what Todd Phillips was actually going to do was he was going to be making a movie about a failing comedian going through all the shit times because of, you know, fucked economy, and, you know, all this other crazy like grounded stuff. And it basically he converted the script to an adaptation to the character of you know, Joker.
Oh, I was right then.
Yeah.
This is a random indie movie that he just threw Joker off.
Yeah, and this has actually been proven too. Like, I'm not just like assuming. Like,
I've been looking this shit up, so I'm just kind of glad I got a little vindication.
Yeah, man. But my only issue with this, that's like really bothering the fuck out of me, is the fact that, you know, the way, and I guess like the best way to start this off is just my complaint about other people. The big issue surrounding the words overhype is something that's really bothering the fuck me, because, you know, this is something that, you know, upon layers and layers of all the comic movies that we get and everything, people just keep bringing up like, yo, man, this is not as good as what people say. This is not as dangerous as what people say. And it's like, dude, this is not something for you to compare. Like, you can't judge this movie based on what other people say. You have to have some individuality about it. I don't like that. We got to go off of Rotten Tomato scores. We got to go off of, man, they got security in front of our theaters. So I was expecting something that actually needed that. Like, in a chat.
I even got security in my theater. I've never seen that in my fucking life.
Yeah, same here, you know. And but that's the thing. Like, even in the chat earlier, I don't know if it was Max or Baby Lotion, but somebody was like, man, I saw somebody in there. It was not even necessary. No one actually acted out. And I'm like, did you want them to act out? Is that part of the experience, to be scared out of your fucking life?
Yo, I wanted to get shot, man. That's why I paid $12 to go see this movie.
Yeah.
Man, I was literally in the theater going, I hope I don't fucking die. I don't want to die in the Joker.
Yeah, especially something like this. You know?
I don't want to die in this movie.
But, you know, like, that's the thing. At the end of the day, you know, reviews are done by other people that are not you. So when you see a movie, it's not the film's job to impress you like impress somebody else. Like, you have to withhold individuality. And you got to base it around your own general type of criticisms that you would hold with any movie, not just this one, not just a movie that somebody else is talking about.
Goddamn, Philosopher Diaz.
Well,
No, he's 100% fucking right.
He is, but goddamn.
I'll straight up say that, like, I was in the movie and I was just getting around like, okay, I'm gonna hate you. Give me a reason to hate you. I was sitting there, arms crossed, until I was like, oh, okay, okay, like slowly winning me
Alan,
over.
Nick's over here dropping those college 101 philosophy shit.
Well, no, it's just one of those things that was just bothering the fuck out of me because before even watching the movie, just walking out to it, I heard people around me like, "Man, I hope it's as good as Dark Knight." Oh, I hope it's like, dude, who gives a like? Stop, just stop. It's not the same fucking movie. Like the movie hasn't even started yet, and you're already doing that shit. You know what I mean? But do you guys feel like I'm gonna go around the table here? Like, Rox, I'll start off with you. Do you have the same issues I have with people being so complaining of the overhype? I think she's gone. I think she died.
No, I'm right here.
Okay.
No, I burped, but I didn't want y'all to hear that.
No, you man, let everyone hear that shit. I want to hear a nice burp.
Nah, shit was deep.
But yeah, like, do you have any issue with people complaining about the overhype? Like when they come out of the movie saying like, man, it's not as that movie was overhyped, bro. Like, does that bother you at all or no?
Yeah, it bugs me a little bit.
Yeah, because
I just don't want to hear like, well, it wasn't as good as this, it wasn't as good as that. Like you said, let the movie be its own movie. You can make comparisons. I think that's relatively fair game to make comparisons about what you like about one certain movie and what you like about another. But to pin them both against each other, you ain't got to do all that. It's not that serious, fam. Just enjoy it. Let the movie be the movie.
yeah, and the biggest thing too, like for me, there's been so many movies that are overhyped. Like there's not a kind of movie that doesn't. There's not a kind of movie that comes out that's not overhyped. Avengers was literally considered the best movie you've ever seen in your life. Like that was a thing that many reviewers were saying. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to judge it on that because obviously you're already into this. You decided the movie was going to be that good before you even sat down. You know, so it goes both negatively and positively. Ganja, I'm going to ask you, does it bother you when people say that something's overhyped?
Not necessarily because people love the shit they love and they get hyped about it. The only reason I say that this was unnecessarily hyped was all the negative backlash. And this is one thing I'm kind of glad we didn't really get too much into it because my personal opinion, like, yeah, I feel like this movie was catered, especially to its marketing to a certain degree, that incel community. But the movie itself doesn't really do that. And I feel like people are just wrapped up in the big, like, hoopla of it rather than the actual film itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the early reviews are coming out, yeah, they talked about the film, but most people were talking about like, "Yo, man, this is gonna test people, bro. This is disturbing shit, bro. Like, I don't know if the people are ready for this." And it's kind of fucked up that the local media and a lot of people within this kind of push this as like a incel shooter film when necessarily it's not, and all the hype around it seems to be that negativity rather than for the film itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
because even if you were defending the movie, you were mostly talking shit about like, yeah, man, I don't know why they're talking all this shit, bro. It's just a movie. You weren't really defending the movie because, oh, look, it did this in this one scene. It's trying to show you that, no, this is wrong. It's just whatever your personal opinion was at the time.
Yeah. No, I see that point too, and Alan, I'm gonna ask you too about the overhype about this, and just even like what Ganja said about like the news and everyone painting this as like this big negative aspect of the society. What'd you feel about that? Just like that word overhype.
That's actually why I didn't want to watch the movie because of the overhype. Because everyone's like, "Oh man, this is going to be the best or the worst thing ever," yada yada yada. And it was something that people were overhyping the same way they overhyped the ending of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, it's so gory, it comes out of nowhere, it's so ridiculous, motherfucker. That was a cartoon at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So it's like thinking of this, I'm like, it's just people overhyping the movie, and they were selling this movie as the anti-critic movie. Like, oh yeah, critics don't get it. That's why everyone's like, man, fuck the critics, they don't understand this. This is for us. Yeah, all this kind of stupid shit. And I'm looking at the trailers, I'm like, this could be it, but it could not be. And I was just like, for me, overhyped me kills things. Honestly, if my friend didn't buy me a ticket, I wouldn't watch this. I would be like, fuck, I'm not wasting my fucking time with this. Because I didn't want to watch it because when things get overhyped, I avoid it. Like, there's a reason I didn't play The Last of Us until like the PS4 came out. Because I'm like, I don't want to fucking play something that everyone's like, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, I already hear about it. I'm already pissed off because I hear about it every 2 fucking seconds. Same thing with the Joker movie. Someone did a question in the polls like, hey, what movie or TV or whatever the fuck did you avoid because it was overhyped? And I just wrote Joker. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
I wrote Joker because I just didn't want to fucking watch it.
And you were like avoiding trailers and shit too, or?
I think I only saw the teaser and the first trailer. I know they released probably 2 more after that, but like, yeah, I saw one trailer. I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch this movie.
Yeah, man. By the way, too, I mean, not to bring the show down or anything, but yeah, man, sucks, JP, that you're going through what you're going through. Apparently, someone very close to him, his half brother, apparently passed away. So yeah, it really sucks, man. Hopefully, you can get your mind off of it. I would say the Joker, if you go see the Joker, it's probably not gonna take your mind off it too much because it's very depressing in itself. But yeah, man, really sucks, and hopefully you can get your mind off in the after hours tonight.
Keep your head up, JP.
Yeah, seriously, 'cause that shit fucking sucks. Like, I know how that feels, man. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, I mean, I guess at this point we should probably just discuss what the movie's about. And yeah, as far as the movie goes, the film's about a guy named Arthur Fleck. They barely even, say Joker in the movie until like the very end. But this
Doctor
guy,
what?
Arthur Fleck,
I thought you said Dr. Fleck. I was just like, what?
Yeah, he's a doctor in the movie. Plot twist.
No,
Wouldn't
so
that be some
just, like,
shit?
just like Harley Quinn, huh?
Oh, I forgot she was a doctor. That shit was so fucking.
She's a psychiatrist. That's how they meet.
Suicide Squad. Well, it wasn't even a Suicide Squad thing. That was the thing that was just like within the lore of Harley Quinn, anyways, right?
Yeah. That was the thing about it. That's how they met, and then basically because the Joker is corrupt, is able to corrupt people and make them crazy. After months and years of them just being like doing this Thursday session, she starts going nuts and breaks him out.
Yeah, but anyways, Arthur Fleck, who just so happens to be a clown as his day job, unfortunately gets the shit beat out of him in a way that affects his work, affects his life, affects his home living, and I guess, and I don't know how long, I don't know like what the time is between these days of like every issue that kind of comes up, but it's like every day it just gets worse and worse. Much like another movie that I've been really, really into and I brought up on the show, Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Yeah, from what the movie says, I think that it's like it's a couple days between certain incidences, and it's a couple weeks the whole movie takes place over.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, the entire movie here is based around, the city. And I mean, it looks like New York. Obviously, probably filmed there, but, Gotham City. And how all this bullshit that the city goes through, it trickles down to the lower class people of the city. So Arthur Fleck and his, whole house life, whatever, is affected by this to the biggest point because he's poor and everybody around him is poor. And it's like the movie is kind of about what Gotham City is going through, not necessarily about like, holy shit, this guy's crazy all the time. Like the movie starts off with him being sad, but then as soon as, he gives you a frame of him being like super crazy, they explain it with something like, oh man, he has to go out there and be this clown. All people are picking on him. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, his landlord and his boss is basically telling him, hey dude, everyone thinks you're fucking crazy. It's like there's always an explanation as soon as he reacts to something in a negative, psychotic way. So you're never really asking questions like, well, is he crazy or is he? He's like, no, he's very, very clear. He's fucking absolutely insane. You know what I mean? And I like how the movie doesn't really spend this time trying to placate to this idea of like, no, you gotta feel sympathy for him. It's like, no, you don't. The movie is very honest with saying, no, this dude fucking sucks. He might be mentally ill, but he's also a problem in itself.
Which I like because I thought that was one of the mistakes of Taxi Driver. Was if you watch the movie just plainly as it is, it's praising Robert De Niro's character and what he goes through as becoming a vigilante. But if you just watch the movie out of that perspective of like, yo, if I was him, I'd do the same shit. Fuck those hippie pimps. And you just see it as a man who is hating life. He's a creep in his own right. So he's taking out his anger and frustration of being lonely out on things that he thinks is righteous, as society itself thinks is righteous. Whereas Joker doesn't do that. At no moment does it go like, yeah, man, though he's kind of right though. It's like, no, he is a scumbag.
You got to understand there's a clear distinction between sympathy and understanding someone's point of view. When you're the sympathetic or empathetic or whatever, it's like, oh, I put myself in that situation. I would do the same thing if because there is if it's like, hey, you see this person that in self-defense kill someone, it's like, okay, cool. You're empathetic to that because like, hey, I would do the same thing. Understanding someone's point of view is like, hey, he over the course of the movie, he loses his mind because of all the bullshit in his life, and he starts going off crazy and killing people. It's like, okay, I can understand how this mentally disturbed person got to here, but you're not sympathizing with them. You're understanding how he got there. Like that's what the movie does. It's an understanding point. So anyone that says, "Oh, you're supposed to sympathize with Joker," you clearly were not watching this fucking movie.
Yeah, because that's the thing, and I guess like the trailer probably comes across like, all I have are negative thoughts. I'm going to therapy. People, don't give a fuck about my problems. It's like, okay, I understand people would probably assume without seeing the movie that, yeah, it's a movie that's apologetic for whatever the fuck he's going to be at the end of the movie. But it's like, no, he reacts to things in a certain way where it's like, no, you were going to be crazy no matter what. Like,
yeah, you were just waiting for not even one bad day, which is why I'm glad they didn't go through that. It's just like, hey, he just reached a snapping point and decided to take it out this way as opposed to maybe a healthier way.
Well, and all of that, it's like, all right, so Todd Phillips, he's like almost kind of like a right winger to a certain extent, and his thing, like, this movie's gonna like have really like topics about like society and civilization and what we go through to a certain extent, and I was actually kind of blown away. He did a lot of that to a certain extent. Now I don't know how much of this was the script or him just being a director making it pop on the screen. And it was actually because of strong writing that this came about. But a lot of the stuff that happens throughout the movie is showing that it's more of a critique on the capital society of Gotham and where it's going in the 70s, which I this is one thing I kind of like those based in the 70s, but it wasn't really done anything at all. Was the backdrop of people losing jobs, people like the health services being cut, because that's something that happened in the 70s here in America. And a lot of major cities felt that stuff where we were starting to begin neoliberal austerity. So a lot of like the places for mentally ill people, people that get medication and stuff from the government were starting to get closed down. And and a lot of people say that's the big reason for our homeless problem right now. And to touch on that was a really good idea because that was the beginning of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a chance to show the buildup of if you get rid of all these safety nets, that someone that has these extreme disturbed mentalities needs in order to prevent violence from occurring as an outbreak of their mental illness, you will create monsters. Like this system just creates monsters.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, like this whole issue in the city, I mean, it affects them in ways where it's like, it's just like how society affects us. Like, I mean, from housing to healthcare to employment to relationships, like it really, it's almost like this dude had no choice but to become what he was going to become anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, I do like the idea.
That's something me and Roxy were talking about when she got out the movie theater was, it shows that the Joker or the character Arthur Fleck was going to become what he becomes if no one came in and stopped it. But this is a possibility. Like, it doesn't excuse him. It's like, no, he is mentally ill.
Understanding where he came from is different than sympathizing with the motherfucker.
He needs help, but he will become a monster.
Yeah. And it goes to the point, too, where it's like, you know, that's why I don't like the idea of, because I had a conversation. I'm sorry if I'm going to be pissing you off by saying this, Julian, but it's like me and Julian had a conversation about this movie before we did the show. And the thing is like, you know, I had a discussion where it's like, yeah, I like how everything was done in the movie. I even like how, yeah, society is a reason why he is the way he is. I'm not saying Julian said this, I'm saying this. But then there was a response that Julian gave me where it made me think like, well, yeah, but this is kind of an issue where I think this is what people want to say when like there's a shooting and someone's like, oh, well, he's mentally ill. It's like, you know, I don't think that this movie was doing that in a sense too, because the movie does something where it's like, hey, you know, my medications are stopped and this thing's happening and like I have a fucked up home life. Blah, 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 leads up to, at the very, very end, he does something to a character where it's like, okay, that's taking it way too fucking far, and you fucked up quite a bit here, dude. But when he fucks up, it's like, that was technically kind of what happens in real life, and it's like...
Well, the thing is, especially with scenes happening with that, it's less of, oh, mentally ill, let's just forget about it. It's that this movie showcasing is, yes, mentally ill people will, you know, if pushed too far, can commit crimes, but it's that nobody cares about their plight, so nobody, like, again, the health service is being cut. It's not necessarily that's what caused him. It's just that helped his degradation to becoming a murderer. And it's like, people say, oh, he's mentally ill, but then it's like, hey, let's cut all the mentally ill programs. It's like, you can't have both. You can't blame it all on this one class, but then cut anything that could help this class get better. It's like, that's more of what the movie's going at.
Yeah, and while he was having his medication still going to classes, he was still uttering the threats or even like acting them out physically, like he was going to do this, like he was for sure going to do this whole time. So it's almost like, yeah, it's not mental illness anymore, it's like, no, this is a killer. You know, and he has access to a gun. It's
part of it, but it's like, it's not, it's trying to say, yes, it is his actions too, but it's like there's enough leading up that there are problems. Like, it's a mix of both. It's 50% him, 50% the world around him.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was telling Ruthless is he says in the Twitch chat. So is the movie basically saying that if I'm a monster, what made me that way? No, it's more Joker asks that question, and the movie goes back and says, no, you're as much as a monster as a society that produced you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not even about like what makes him the Joker. It's just the idea of like, he's not made anything. He's fucked up, you know, and you know, there's no excuse for that. You can't.
There's no formula to make the Joker. It's just a series of events that kind of happen, and it molded this person's mind as it would a lot of us, but it just kind of broke him.
And to defend that in a sense too, to discuss this other aspect of what people were expecting, I guess, out of this is, you know, people look at this like it's a movie about an incel, and it's really not. I think the word incel is used constantly, and I feel like, you know, right or wrong, a lot of us may not be actually saying it or using it in a proper usage. You know what I mean? This guy doesn't hate women. He doesn't attack women. He's a person who doesn't understand social cues. He's a person who wants to live in a world that doesn't affect us, you know, or affect his discomfort in society. That's nothing that has to do with incel. You know what I mean? Like, incels hate women. Incels stay within their house and don't do nothing. You know, if I'm wrong, correct me.
No, you are correct, because because like he is. People think, oh well, because he's blaming society. It's like incel's a very specific brand of blaming because they're blaming women for liking society standards, and it is specifically all about it because they say involuntary celibate. That means they choose not to have sex. Oh no, sorry, they don't choose to not have sex. They feel like they're denied sex. This isn't what this movie's about. This is just a deranged person.
Yeah, and he doesn't, and it's not a movie where like let's just say if I was an incel and I came to this movie like, oh wow, I can't wait to live vicariously through this other incel who's gonna do all this shit. The thing is that people walk into the movie theater and they'll see this character. He does have sex, and he does. Well, I mean, it's implied that he has sex. I mean, kisses somebody, the door shuts. I feel like there was sex involved. I don't know. And by the way, she sat through that shitty stand-up routine and stayed with him. So I feel like that's the biggest victory anybody will ever have in their fucking life. Because that shit, I would have left. Just like going on stage.
Nah, you take your buddy off stage. You're like, nah, man, you're bombing. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, the biggest thing with Joker is I feel like when people say this is an incel movie, I don't think they understand the word incels, like you said, Nick. But I think it's because it was all the marketing and all the people talking about it prior for the film coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually watch the film itself, it's more it is the shooter mentality to a certain extent. It's the society's wronged me, so I'm going to take my own justice kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie at no point like actually tries to make it ambiguous that he's the good guy. And the only thing that I don't like from this film is it does take a nihilistic approach sometimes to a lot of the questions and answers that they try to provide. Is why is this such and such like this? Why is this so terrible? It's because we're all terrible deep down, all that shit. Where it's more of just this nihilistic idea of if I want to change society, I can do it myself, and I can see the danger in that. But at that point, you got to get rid of V for Vendetta. You have to get rid of Falling Down. Like, there's a lot of other movies that take that aesthetic and really run with it.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't really make this movie special. Like, that was the one thing I was sitting there and realizing was this is not a really a special movie.
Yeah. And that's is it the worst thing ever? That's not a special movie. Like
no, but
no, not necessarily. But in terms of the way they were promoted it as this new height of disturbing, like go into someone's psyche. Like I expected some real fucked up indie shit, honestly.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't think Todd Phillips understands the movie he's also trying to make. Because I remember this one thing. It's like, well, John Wick can kill like 300 people, but my movie doesn't really do that much. Why is everyone hating on me? It's like you don't understand the movie you're making. I feel like that's what.
Ruthless pretty much says it. So the movie's taking a shot at incels who morphed the movie into being about them. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, I mean, this being a Joker movie, I feel like many people are going to feel that way anyways. Just because, like, I mean, dude, like, honestly, Dark Knight was not an incel movie either. I don't know where the fuck, like...
No, I don't know why anyone fucking say that. But it's like, the funny thing is I was having this discussion with friends about, like, what the actual movie is about. And I can't believe I'll say this, when I walked into the movie, I was like, I don't, this is not a fucking Joker movie, this is just a random indie movie. After I watched it, I'm like, this is what I want from combo movies. I'm not saying every combo movie needs to be the Joker, but this is a movie first. Yeah. It just adds in all the stuff afterwards. I was walking out going, thank you that somebody understands that you can take the comic book universe and comic book aesthetic and make a story make it a real human story that feels like it's set in the real world. Like, that was one of the things that I love about The Dark Knight. I'm not trying to compare them, but I love The Dark Knight because I feel like The Dark Knight is the most realistic portrayal of a superhero that I feel could be real tomorrow. Like, everything in that movie I feel could be done. With this, like, yes, this feels like this could be something that be happening. Yeah, it gets a little crazy near the end, but we can even discuss that probably in the after hours if we want to go into spoilers. But what I love about this movie is it feels like they're like, we're taking the comic book aesthetic, but we're going to actually treat the comic books with respect and be like, okay, we can take the aspects that work for DC, but we can also tell our own story. We're not saying they're trying to do what Marvel does and make it just a comedy and just like, fuck it. Fuck the comic books. Those are fucking stupid. It's like, no. They understand that comic books can be important and an important medium for telling a story, just like sci-fi used to be like in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, because you accentuate like the story and how grounded it is by keeping it like not so insane. Like this movie didn't even need a villain. Like Robert De Niro. I mean, can we consider him a villain?
Not really. He's just a dude. He's just like...
That's what I'm saying. This movie is not really about like villains. It's more about personas that cause people to feel alienated in society. Like all right. The reason I can't really go into it because it'll be spoiler, but the reason I got later into the movie what happened and occurred with the Robert De Niro character is because he adds on to the pains and stuff that happens to people in society. One, he's pretty much a nighttime talk show host, so he doesn't actually talk about real news. He talks about what's the mainstream and pew stuff that just keeps everybody going, and that's why every time Thomas Wayne comes up, it's always in a positive light throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
because he's portraying the mainstream stuff. And when it comes to the way he talks to lower people, it's made harder and more in the course of looking for jokes and comedy. So he's pretty much of the same establishment that Joker comes to hate.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Cyborg Man in the YouTube chat, he says that he did see the movie, he's very opinion about it. So yeah, man, when you get a chance, just kind of let us know what you thought. On anybody, by the way, everyone in the chat and everything too. I want to see what you guys think as well. But I definitely agree with you in that sense.
Hey, if you don't write too much, we'll read it, bro.
Yeah, seriously, man, as fast as I fucking talk, maybe I'll read the whole goddamn thing. But
Maybe.
maybe Alan's like, I don't want to hear his voice for that long. Fuck that. But the thing is, though, yeah, like I definitely agree with you guys. And another thing too, because they're asking us about like, what do we think about the Wayne family being involved in everything too? And I don't think that's a spoiler because literally it's in the trailer.
It's in the trailers, and honestly, it's
Yeah.
not enough of it's enough of a backdrop. But it's like, I think that again, if you could edit this movie and you could just ADR and do a bunch of dialogue to basically not make this a DC movie. But I think that their inclusion is probably some of the better inclusions I've seen of how they're trying to make the, because this isn't like, again, I don't know how people are going to do this, but they're going to compare it to Venom, where Venom is like trying, like Venom is just like a fuck it, we're not even going to bother. With this, it's like, no, we're going to connect it as we need to. But this isn't like, oh, we're trying to make a prequel to fucking Dark Knight. It's like, no, that was my biggest worry. They're trying to make a prequel to Dark Knight. But walking out of this, I'm like, this is a situation in which when Batman does grow up, it's like, okay, you see why the city went the way it does and why Batman ends up becoming. I'm like, I like the additions there because it added to the story, it added to the character, and it added to the progression of the plot where I felt it was all organic. I'm like, when a lot of this stuff happens, like, oh, that makes so much sense. I'm glad they did it this way because I'm like, I can see the pieces fell in the right places, and I like that.
Yeah, and I feel like they fell in the right place too. But then at the same time, I was enjoying the movie for what it was, and then I enjoyed the groundedness of it, and then I just started realizing when it got to that part where he's starting to meet these other characters that are from like the bigger picture of the DC universe, I'm like, now you're using like script magic to make certain things convenient for him to, like, for instance, let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Him being a clown before he's called the Joker, and then like everybody else that's like going crazy and doing riots and doing all these protests, they all have clown masks. I'm like, okay, we get it. It's the Joker. He's a fucking clown. I fucking get it.
Well, okay, but no, it's less about like, oh, we're trying to connect this. It's literally like the V for Vendetta thing. That's why Ganja brought that up earlier. Is that when the description was he's a clown killing the rich. That's why I love the Ted like kill the rich, a new movement. I laugh my goddamn ass off because everyone always fucking does that shit. But it's like they see that this clown, and especially with Thomas Wayne going, oh, they're just a bunch of clowns. It's like, okay, it's basically a fuck you to the rich. And that's why it continues. I'm like, oh, okay, that actually does make a lot of sense. That's why I'm saying it feels very organic, everything they added in. Wayne, Thomas Wayne is not just, oh, we just have him in the corner. It's like, no. Thomas Wayne is the asshole rich billionaire like Bezos or some of the other asshole, basically almost like the Trump character. And then it's like, hey, basically insulting all the poor people for basically like, say, hey, fuck the rich. And now they're joining through. I'm like, everything felt organic.
Yeah, and Ross, I'm gonna ask you too. Like, did you feel it felt organic as far as like the connections to the bigger, wider DC universe?
It felt like pretty good for the most part. It didn't feel too shoehorned in, like, oh my god, guys, it's Bruce Wayne. It's fucking Bruce Wayne. You see him? It did feel a little shoehorned in during certain parts, like you mentioned with the whole Joker stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, I didn't mind it too much.
Yeah.
Because I was a little worried that they were going to be like, you see, this is why this happened, this is why this happened, and yeah, I don't know if we're going too deep into spoilers, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, no, we're really not. But the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, I don't even think that's much of a spoiler right there, too. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of, like, not explanations, but just kind of, like, it tries to kind of, like, slightly move to the seat of the chair where it's like, yeah, in case they do want a sequel, or in case they want to put me in Birds of Prey 2 or whatever the fuck, like, we got this here that connects. It's like, no.
I disagree with that, like, entirely. I don't think in any way, shape, or form they're trying to sequel bait. I think they were just trying to make this as much of a Joker. They're trying to make this as much of a DC movie as possible, and it was something I mentioned. It's like, they're just adding all these aspects, but, like,
They didn't
nothing...
sequel bait.
I don't think there was sequel baiting
they
at all.
left a little bit open just in case they want to.
No. Open ending doesn't mean sequel bait. Sequel bait is like at the end of Batman Begins where he hands him a Joker card.
That's what I'm saying, Alan. It's like it wasn't obvious sequel bait, but they did leave it open enough. If they want to come back to this universe, they can.
I disagree. I think that they left it open enough that you can. Okay, I think they left it open enough that you're like, well, for basically the fanboys are like, well, wait, that's not canon to DC. That's not canon. Like, well, no. We left it open enough that you can interpret that. like I said, even though that it wasn't 100% right, but something I said to Ganja that this Joker is going to inspire the other Jokers. That almost kind of happens where you're like, oh well, this isn't the Joker that fights Batman in 20 years when he's Batman. Somebody else is, but this person inspired them. That's what the open ending is.
But the
It's
Batman
not like
that's coming out soon, Robert Pattinson's Batman, he's not the Batman that's been fighting Joker all these years either.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. And looking at this, the reason why I brought this up, I'm not trying to like, because I don't want you to go too far where like, oh
no, I
Ron was
stand by
wrong.
what I say.
Okay, because yeah, like I mean, and this is an interview that was done with Todd Phillips. This is posted by Collider, but I don't think Collider actually did the interview. But director Todd Phillips says that sequel is possible. And I saw another post about this where it wasn't Todd Phillips, but somebody else said also like, yeah, you know, we're not. This movie wasn't made to be part of this big universe, but yes, like the story can continue, and it's left like that. And I mean, keep in mind that like whether or not this movie has to do with any of the other movies, it is kind of like put in there like, no, this is the beginning of a huge arc.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily one that has to continue. It's just one that's like we're basically leaving it up in the air so that you can make your own interpretations of how this fits into the larger universe. And I love that a lot.
Yeah, man. But no, you know, another thing that was brought up too. So here's the thing: I have a big issue, like with Avengers Endgame or any Marvel movie, really, when like, you know, they talk about the snap, the Thanos snap, and then all of a sudden, like, there's some fucking joke where it's like it's sad, la la, violent, and then haha, funny, and then la la. It's like I never have time to feel what I want to feel. This movie, I feel like, did the comedy so fucking well. Like, there's parts where you do laughter, and the joke is also awkward. So when you laugh, you're laughing nervously, but the scene's trying to make you nervous. Like, any feeling that I had, the movie was intending for me to feel that feeling, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way.
I do for a certain degree. I think it was one of those things where as much as I did enjoy the movie, I think it took a while for me to really get there. Because like I think the first half is really just kind of like, oh, we get it. You're fucking miserable, depressed, and mentally ill. Okay, fucking get on with it. But then eventually all the stuff they brought up, because like there's so many things they brought up. I'm like, you're just doing this because it's established. Oh, he's dancing weird. Well, that's because Jack Nicholson's Joker's like, oh, he's laughing weird. Well, that's just because it's a Joker. Okay, fucking get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
But every single thing they brought up, because they bring up a lot of stuff and it's really obvious, like the stairs thing. They bring up all this stuff. But then they use it. They use it really well. They don't just bring it up because, oh, well, we got to use it eventually. It's like, it feels so organic when it's used better. I'm like, okay, I'm getting it. They did a good, even though there was an obvious setup, it was a good setup where it's like it eventually paid off in the second half. That's why I like the second half way more.
Mm-hmm. And Rock's going to ask you the same question, too. Is like, do you feel like this movie, did you feel like everything the movie wanted to intend for you to feel, did you feel that way? Or do you think that sometimes the movie was trying to do something and it didn't really work?
No, everything that it wanted me to feel, I basically felt. But I guess because I've seen a lot of shit in my line of work, it didn't really affect me too much. Because I've dealt with some shit, man.
Yeah. No, she works at a hospital or has worked. I don't know your life right now, but like
Basically, I worked at an old folks home, and then I worked in the ER, and now I'm in like human services. So anything from dead bodies to bones, pus, blood, shotgun wounds, whatever you name it, I've seen it.
And that's just what she's done to me.
yes.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Ganja, as far as what the movie intended, do you feel like you felt all the right clicks that the movie was trying to make you feel?
Nah, and this is when we're gonna start separating Diaz.
All right.
I felt like at the first half of this movie, it felt very generic, like art style shit. Like I could have saw this at a Sundance or like a local film thing out here in Denver, and it wouldn't have changed anything. It would have just been like, oh, okay, so this is crazy weird dude that's dancing. That's got a fucked up back. And I'm watching him do these dance moves, and like, okay, so the light's like flinging off his titty, just like mine did in New York. And
God, I hate that story.
And it's just like we're trying to capture the light and the way the light just glistens off his fucked up body to show how mentally broken he is. Yeah, I know, I get cinematography.
Fuck you, Christian Bale. We can do the Mechanist as well.
Skip all this bullshit. And it keeps just dragging on to that point that's like, all right, now I'm going to show you I watched Taxi Driver. Okay.
To the point where he holds the fucking his fingers to his head like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like you're not even being slightly clever with this. You just
well, not that. Like the color palettes of his outfits are very similar to what Robert De Niro wears. There's a love for like this dirty like. At first, I thought it was San Francisco.
That's what I thought too.
I don't know why I thought it was San Francisco. I don't know, someone like they were listening to a radio that was talking about San Francisco, so I thought it was San Francisco, but no, it's Gotham. And I get what they're trying to do when they're trying to take like, oh, there's the trash strike going on, like 'cause that's what happened in New York a few times, and it's just like trying to capture this dirty New York vibe, but the movie doesn't really go into it too well. besides the kids and the rich fucking assholes that you run into throughout the movie, that the movie is constantly talking about, there's no reason for it to have the aesthetic of the 70s.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
felt
could
the
have
same way.
easily made this movie now. Because this is just my conspiracy theory. This doesn't happen in the movie. But I thought the reason they did it in the 70s was so he could do more crazy shit and get away with it.
Yeah, because you
that's
can't
not...
say something like, "Oh, why didn't someone call the police with a cell phone?" Because it's the 70s, bitch.
No, that's
Like,
actually
Dude, it was
not...
3 o'clock in the morning and only homeless people were there.
Yeah.
oh, no, my conspiracy theory why it's set in the 70s is so that Batman is a kid.
Yeah,
Because they can't sit there and
yeah.
set in 2019 because that would make no goddamn sense of,
Right.
okay, Batman's going to be fucking Batman in 2050? Like,
But
no,
then
that's not how that fucking
ruins-
works.
That goes to my point. This movie doesn't know what it wants to do because it says it wants to be a one-off Joker film that does its own thing, but there's clearly like these little sprinkles, like with the whole Bruce Wayne thing having to be a kid, that's trying to set it up for almost like it feels like a sequel, but not if they don't really want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Which, the open-ended is like, okay, nice. At least, like, for what it is, we can just enjoy that it's fucking here, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
Mob and
it
Kirk is saying 1980.
portrays this idea of being a one-off.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Ganja in that sense about the one-off thing, but then, I mean, to Alan's point that you're probably going to say right now, too, is just like, as it progresses on, it's like, no, if someone else gets rights to this particular movie, someone can do something with this. Is that what you're going to say, Alan? Or if not, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
No, to a certain degree, but my thing is that open-ended doesn't necessarily mean that sorry. What they sprinkled through was not because they wanted a sequel, was because they wanted to connect this to the universe. They simply wanted to basically, again, it was like I said when I first saw this trailer, that if you just took out the fucking references to Gotham, this could be a random fucking movie. I think the sprinkles weren't so that they could sequel bait, it's so that they could eventually be like, okay, this is somewhat connected to the established DC universe. Now, is fucking Joaquin Phoenix going to be the same Joker that fucking kicks Batman's ass when Batman's like fucking 25? No, of course not. He'd be like fucking 60. This isn't fucking Halloween. But is that the inspiration of the crazy shit that happened in like, what, 75, 89, whenever the hell the movie's set, is going to inspire a Joker that's probably around that age so that he'll grow up to try to emulate Arthur, basically. And he's the one that fights Batman. Now, not saying that that's going to be the sequel, but we're putting enough sprinkles in there so that you can connect this and basically be like, this is just an issue of a comic in this universe.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, so I mean, I see Alan's point more so, but like, yeah, I can see where Gon's coming from too. Now my last complaint about this, and then we'll get into ratings and just kind of like
Sure.
and plus I want to read the chat a lot more too. But here's the thing, I want to make this up. Hopefully, I can start using this for more movies. But like, I'm getting sick of this thing in 2019 where all these movies have Chris Rock syndrome. Where
What?
if you watch Chris Rock stand-up comedy, he likes to repeat the premise 20 fucking times. What he likes to do, like, here's an example. Women can't go down a lifestyle. They can't go down a lifestyle. Women don't like to do this. Women. And he keeps saying that like 5 fucking times throughout the whole bit. One thing I'm noticing with movies nowadays that even Avengers does too, but like I'll just say this one with Joker, that fucking laugh. Like, I get it, he's fucking crazy, but like every single second that fucking and it's not like guys, if it was just like that, that's fine. But he does it for 5 minutes straight every fucking time.
How do you think I feel? I deal with that shit every fucking day.
No, I'm with you, Nick. That's actually one of the things that bothered me because I'm like, at first I was like, okay, he's laughing. Cool. I get it. He's, the Joker laugh.
Yeah, it was
I
creepy
get
too.
it.
It was cool.
I get it. Stop fucking laughing. We get the fucking do some stupid bullshit to explain what the fuck he's laughing for 5 fucking minutes straight. And it's like, oh god, fuck, we get it. He's still laughing. Oh my god.
And they explain it like after an hour and 10 minutes, you finally get it. I'm like, okay, that's. And by the way, too, the explanation is something I kind of put together myself. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But then it's like they still laugh more after the explanation. It's like, okay, dude, you got that point over? Stop. And they keep fucking doing it. It's like a joke that's done and started to bother you. It's like, dude, learn when to fucking stop. And it's like not even edited. And then he does like this thing where he's choking on it and it's gross. Like,
Yep, that's all.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I had to cover my ears a couple times.
Yeah, and spit's coming out and the whole fucking thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And it's like, with everything too, like him, the worst luck he has, where people are abusing him, or he's falling down, or he's going through some shit. I compare this to Falling Down, but Falling Down did this a lot better, where everything was natural. Like, for instance, Michael Douglas starts off, he's in the car, he's going on this war with the fly. He's like, fucking flies in here, my air conditioning's not working, I'm gonna leave, get out of traffic. Then he is in a situation where he can't afford a soda, and that creates a problem. Then he walks into some Mexicans in their territory, and they want to beat his ass. But, like, these situations are different. With the Joker, it's like, hey, leave my kid alone, you're fucking crazy because you're laughing. Then another guy goes, you're crazy, you're laughing. To another guy, you're crazy, you're laughing. It's like, dude, I get it. do you not have any other fucking reasons why you're crazy? Is that it? Because if you can just laugh and that's it, then not that
Yo,
crazy.
man, have you ever thought that laugh is kind of crazy?
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, and then like the bullying shit. Like, I'm sorry, and I know maybe I'm talking from like a privilege or whatever, but it's like,
You are.
do people get beat that fucking much everywhere?
Yeah.
Seriously? Like a grown man walking to a fucking train and then, hey, you laughing, you little bitch ass motherfucker? Bam, bam, beat my ass until I'm almost dead. Does that happen?
Well, I got my ass beat all the time.
But
Yeah.
you're a kid,
Stomped.
though. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the same guy getting beat that many times. It's like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
Well, because it's supposed to be a representation of just how people treat mentally ill. So it's not like, oh man, it's supposed to be like, yeah, this happens all the fucking time. That's why he eventually gets this psychosis of fuck the world, because like there's a conversation that happens later on, like this is early in the movie, and it's like, yeah, you don't give a shit about me, and it's like supposed to be a representation of how the society doesn't give a shit about the mentally ill.
Yeah, but like even that too, it was just like we got that. Like I mean, he said that, or he didn't say it, but like it just happened so many times. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was bothering me. Just like I'm honestly, I'm sick of that fucking laugh, bro. Like to this day, I'm like hearing it in the back of my fucking ears. Like,
I can't even emulate it.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it, but I'm like, I can't do it.
Ganja man.
Yeah, Ganja does on accident.
On accident, on purpose.
No, Ganja laughs like the fucking Woody Woodpecker or Donald Duck.
No, he laughs like the fucking hyenas from The Lion King.
Hell yeah!
No, but
The
Rox, did you
Nazis.
feel that way though? Did you feel like that shit was a little too much? It kept kind of like hammering the point that he's crazy like 20 fucking times.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was like
Fucking
ridiculous.
yes.
Like,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like the first scene where they showed him dancing, yes, it was pleasing to see the camera angles. I get it, but y'all are just doing too much. It was just literally him jacking off right in front of the camera, like, yeah, let me see that Joker ass. Let me see that fucking around a little bit.
Yeah, let me see
Twirl
them.
your hair, laugh, cry, laugh some more. Like,
Yeah,
chill. We
let me
get
see
it.
them
He's
I
fucking
think one of the
crazy. You gotta
issues-
hammer
and
it in.
shit.
I think one of the issues with the movie is like, it's 2 hours. I think you could have easily shaved off 20 minutes by reducing those scenes, because like everything they brought up, they do use in the movie. The problem is it goes on for so long, it becomes so telegraphed. They're like, yeah, we know the laugh's going to be relevant at some point in the movie. We know that his weird bone is going to be irrelevant at some point. We know the way he acts to people is going to be relevant at some point in the movie. You don't have to extend it for as long as you're doing. You can reduce this. You can start shaving this stuff off to make it, a little bit better, a little bit less time. So we're not sitting there going, okay, we get it. He's been laughing 4 fucking times in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the chat. He says Nick would use that laugh when he's eating pussy.
What?
I don't know. Anyways, no, but yeah, and I'm glad you kind of agree with me there because yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. And Ganja gonna ask you too, like, did that kind of? I mean, you're already kind of deterred from the movie. You're like, I don't know. But like, did this make it worse for you, or did it not bother you as much?
It bothered me because I felt like it was more going for that. Yo, look how disturbed I am, man. Like, yeah, I'm losing it because my laugh is progressively getting more evil. Yeah, I noticed that shit. It was dumb.
Yeah. I love it. It was dumb.
Like, I get why they're trying to make this an Oscar-nominated film, is because this is trying to do all the artsy shit that people that live in Hollywood.
Cinematography.
That cinematography is just like a toaster strudel, just covered in fucking critic glazed, and trying to get an Oscar out of it. I don't know, like, if I just don't see it because I don't have the quote-unquote high education quality of film school. But honestly, this film just like feels like they're trying to go for Oscar bait so they can legitimize comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming from someone that's very pretentious in Todd Phillips. Just look at how he's acting in
Oh,
interviews.
God, he's such a
And
fucking asshole.
This movie comes off very pretentious in some ways. It just got some good things going for it that I can't really just go, fuck this film.
Yeah, because I mean, and right here in the chat, really quick, just keep away from us. He's saying if Joker was killing someone then laughing, or while laughing, that would have been cooler. But some of the laughing scenes could have been deleted. There was too many scenes where he just sat there laughing for no fucking reason, and that's the thing. It's like, have something going on in the world, right? Like, it would be funny, or not funny, but it'd be interesting if he was like laughing with his therapist or something, and then meanwhile behind him there's a bunch of crazy shit going on, and it kind of gives a point of like, this dude's crazy, but there's crazier things going on because he's not the only person affected.
Because there's a situation on the bus when he does the laughing that would have been better as the introduction to the laughing, because it's like, hey, he's laughing. It's like, why are you laughing right now? Hands the card and it explains it. But when you first see it, he's just laughing for like 2 minutes, and it's like, scene, move on. Like, move on.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
Yeah. Were you guys emotionally affected by anything in a sad way? Like, I mean, because there's one violent scene. We really gotta not spoil that, but there's a very very violent scene that happens, and I'm like, that affected me to the point where I'm like, if I was less of a person, I'd probably cry. You know, I don't know. But Alan, did anything affect you like that? Or just feeling sorry for him, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, there was one situation. I think it's the same scene we're talking about. Let's just say they do somebody wrong, and I'm mad. I was just mad, going, "Man, fuck you, movie. You're doing that guy wrong."
yeah, no, it was pretty fucked up.
There's so
There's a joke that happens.
They made me
And the
so
first person I thought
mad.
of Alan. The first person I thought was Alan. Rox, how about you? Were you emotionally affected by any of this in the sense of like you felt sorry for him, or you just felt like you might have been close to crying or anything?
Nope, I didn't cry, but I was critiquing the fucking human social worker, human service worker, whatever that was in there. Like, bitch, you ain't doing all this shit right. But aside from me critiquing her, it's not out of norm of what I see, so I am sympathetic to it. I understand it to a certain point. So for me, it's a little bit of a soft spot, but I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing
It
too.
just makes me want to help.
Yeah, because looking at something like this too, I feel like someone like you who have experienced shit, it's like this movie, it's the audience. It's like this movie was made because of the name Joker. It's made for DC fans in a sense. But take apart the Joker name, like this is a grown-up ass movie. So depending on what you've experienced in life, like for kids or just young adults that are only used to fucking lightsabers and goddamn batarangs, like they're gonna give a fuck. They're gonna be like, oh man, this is so emotionally whatever. Not everybody, obviously, because ganja, but you know, most people are. But people like you have seen shit. Rox is like, yeah, this is not going to affect at all because barely anything fucking happens. And that's the biggest point about this is that when reviews come out saying, oh my god, it's so violent and all this shit, and man, it's just bad for our society. Like, really, dude?
It is violent, but it's this exact same thing that people were saying about the fucking ending of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Of it's so gory, it's so out of nowhere, it's so uncomfortable. It's like, no, it fucking isn't. It's like 5-minute action scene.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like I've seen worse in non-violent movies, so it's like I don't know what to say in that sense.
Yo, he stabbed somebody with scissors.
Oh man, it's not like we
Whoa.
just saw Us.
Yeah, like I saw us already.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and Raheem, I agree, man. Like that violent scene, the one I think that me and Alan were talking about earlier, that was
It's
pretty fucked up.
ruthless, but it's nothing we haven't seen before.
Well,
Okay,
see, that's the
we
thing,
will
is
we'll
that-
talk about this later, but like it's one of those things where it's not that it's like we haven't seen it before. It's just, it goes on for so long, and I think that's what makes it like more effective.
Well, another thing too is like because, and here's the thing, because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, spoiler, I fucking love it. I love this movie, so like Rain's gonna be high.
I knew you did. Me and Gaja were talking earlier. I'm like, he didn't play his hand. That means he liked it. Because if he hated it, he would have told everybody.
Yeah, no, I love this fucking movie so goddamn.
You
much.
can't
One
fool
of my
me,
favorite movies of the year. But the thing is though about that is like I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say actually. It's just like I feel like when it comes to these violent scenes or whatever, this audience was not the right audience to go see it. It wasn't made for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a horror fan. This movie was not made for me. It was made for somebody. I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, but it's for Alan. He likes Batman. He likes comic books. He likes the shit.
Yeah.
And for me, no offense, I'm a guy who agrees with Martin Scorsese a little bit. Like I don't give a fuck about comic book movies. I feel like these are very very huge cash grabs, and they're taking advantage of people's fucking like. Oh God, I grew up with him, bro.
By the way, I love that he came out and said that because all those people that just been riding his dick, like, oh my god, it's like a Martin Scorsese movie for comic book fans.
Well, that's probably
He
why
just
he
comes
said some
out
shit.
and just said, "Fuck you, nerds! No, it's not. Suck my dick."
And they're like, oh fuck, you're out of touch. It's like, no. Like you guys put him on a pedestal. It's like he's fucking god of cinema. So now keep sucking that dick like the way you have been. Okay, he's right then, right guys? Because he's
Slob
fucking
on that
Scorsese.
knob. Like corn on
The thing is, I'm in two fucking camps because I think that the Marvel movies for the last decade have deteriorated to the point where they just don't give a shit about real storytelling. But I also think he's up his own ass. So it's like I'm kind of in the mixed boat. It's like I want to agree with him, but he's also kind of an asshole.
Yeah, because he was an asshole about it. He was only. I mean, it's not gonna make anyone feel good. Like to say that you're being a dick. But the thing is like, there's a point of it where I don't like when you look at comic movie. The reason why a movie like this stands out so much is because it's playing in the pool with the rest of the movies that are like this, which are comic book movies. So this is gonna stand out just like Dark Knight stand out. But if you put Dark Knight and this next to Heat or Casino or Goodfellas or whatever, Dark Knight ain't shit either.
Okay, no, the thing is, as much as you could put those up against there, and okay, if you put the Dark Knight Joker up against Casino, but then put like I don't know, let's just say the fucking darkest, one of the darkest Marvel movies, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is like the fucking kid with the fucking hat on. You're like, what are you doing here? This is the grown men's table.
Yeah.
Joker and The Dark Knight, as much as they're very different movies, they still play in the same pool because they're movies first, and they're using the comic book aesthetic to tell a different story that could be more relatable to more people. That's why comics exploded the way they did. They were able to tell stories to the mass in a way that they didn't expect to get these fucking stories. And that's something that I've been saying. That's one of my complaints with Far From Home, is that nobody wants to sit there and tell a fucking human story. They just want to have jokes the whole fucking time. Where this does, as much, even if you disagree with it, this story is a real story, just like how The Dark Knight was a real story.
Yeah, like I'll put it like this: if you're a person who went to go see Far From Home and Endgame and Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and you love all 4 of those movies, like you love the fuck out of them, you're gonna hate this movie. Like you're gonna love.
Not
this
necessarily, because I
phases.
fucking love the hell out of Aquaman. I still love this movie.
You're also a little cocksucker sometimes. Though.
Well, but
And you're
first
also
of
a
all,
little bitch, but I still talk to you.
No, but
True.
Alan is a dude
Aw.
who does watch everything though. Like he watches tons of
I
movies.
love
He
you, dude.
appreciates Nolan.
Me too.
He appreciates you fucking nerds. Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here,
nerd
motherfucker.
love.
But like Alan's job is like he's a reviewer. Like me, Ganja, Rocks, like we like to talk about movies and we like to have fun with it. Alan's literally a fucking reviewer, and I hate to put that pedestal on you because you're fucking stupid sometimes. But like
Really?
he is.
Yeah.
Seriously though, but Alan is someone who knows a lot of shit about lots of movies and he watches a ton of stuff. It's a variety. So I can understand why you would like it, Alan, because you're used to many different things. Me though, I am used to watching just what I want to watch, and I would hate to watch any fucking Marvel or whatever the fuck thing. I just watch it because of the show. So this Joker movie, looking at it and it's called Joker, I'd be like, I'm not watching that bullshit about a fucking clown who takes over Gotham City to go fight Batman. Like fuck that shit. I would have never came to this. So when I got there and I'm like expecting some dumb shit, this was fucking amazing because it took me from my nerd seat and said, no, here's some adult chairs for you. Sit right here and enjoy that for a bit. And meanwhile, all these other people are like, man, where's my fucking Batman? Where's my Gotham? Where's all this shit? I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, Joker didn't fucking squeeze a rose on his fucking shirt and shoot liquid in someone's face. He didn't fall into an acid pool. He also didn't dance to fucking Prince. Batman, get the funk up, guys, you fucking nerds. No, he didn't do that because it's a fucking grown man's movie. I love this movie so
Grown man
much.
movie with a clown.
But
Yeah.
again, it's a grown up movie. It's an adult movie, but it still is a comic book movie. So this is to everyone at fucking Marvel. I'm not saying every fucking movie needs to be the goddamn Joker, but don't sit there and tell me you can't do fucking serious storytelling when this fucking movie just came out.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, seriously,
Tell
man.
a fucking real story for God's sakes, and don't just sit there and have fucking bunch of pratfalls and just making a bunch of jokes based on comic book fucking history. Go fuck yourself.
And we're not being dicks because they've done it before. Well, Infinity
I
War
am. Fuck them.
No, but like to be fair, Marvel did Infinity War, amazing. Black Panther, fucking amazing. Amazing.
Civil War is my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, Winter Soldier. I don't even like it that much, but fucking way better than half the goddamn shit they do. Homecoming, like you know what I mean? Like,
Homecoming's decent.
yeah, like Marvel. What the fuck are you doing? I mean, come on, Captain Marvel this year. Are you fucking serious? Far From Home, that piece of shit. Like,
Far From Home. Don't even get me started.
God damn, man. Like, I'm so happy we got this movie because I'm literally, like, prejudiced against comic book movies. I'm like, I don't want no more motherfuckers in suits or capes fighting in their fucking underwear in the goddamn sky anymore. I'm sick of this shit. And I'm sick of, like, if you don't like it, you're a fucking idiot or you don't know, you hate things. It's like, dude, no, I grew up when movies were fucking normal and some fucking stupid Cape Crusader movie doesn't come out and take over the entire box office because you fucking nerds can't get over your childhood. I'm fucking sick of it. I hate that shit. And this does something that's different. Yes, maybe people don't like there's not so much action. I'm sorry that Joker didn't fly into the fucking air. Like, you know what I mean? But I love this movie. I give it a buy it. I mean, when this movie comes out, I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to buy this shit on fucking 4K. And I don't even have movies on 4K. I love this fucking movie so much.
So he's going to straight masturbate.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, Rox, what would you get this out of 5? Because you don't know a rating system and it sucks anyways.
I'm never borrowing that movie from you if you ever buy it. Shit's gonna be mad sticky.
Yes. Absolutely. With my spider webs all over it.
Like a fucking honey bun.
I'm going to Spidey tingle because Far From Home, you fucking nerds. But anyways. But yeah, what would you give this out of 5?
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Like a 4. 4. Yeah,
Really?
4 point something. Well, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not gonna like ride this movie's dick to fucking Timbuktu. But like hush. I enjoyed it from like a human service perspective. I enjoyed it. There
No,
were some
that's
parts that did make me cringe, and man, I'm just gonna be honest. There was a part in the movie that made me think of Julian, and I could just hear him like breathing in my ear, just trying to talk to me, and I'm just like fucking slumping in my seat, like I can't take this shit. Just hush.
there was a lot of stuff, by the way. I mean, I actually mean this as a compliment somewhat, in a sense, because you're still pretentious, Julian, if you're watching this. But there's like many shots where I'm like, yeah, I can imagine Julian just like, fuck, bro, dude. I'm like, you know. But yeah, I definitely see what you're seeing in that.
Yeah, Matt's got it. Everyone was basically jacking off around me, and I'm just like, interesting.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Ganja, how about you, sir?
I'm gonna have to give this like I'll use the toaster rating to a certain extent because most people know it, but I'm gonna have to give it like a matinee, a low matinee, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the parts I liked, I did enjoy, but it felt too much like a little jerk off film.
Yeah, and I mean, for that, the matinee thing, I mean, it's like a 3 out of 5, basically, where you're coming from.
Wow,
it's like
so
right
auto mode decided that was too much.
yeah, you say fuck, goddamn, the whole thing, but coming, that's where it's too much. I'll make sure to undo that, by the way, dude. Allow that. There you go. Wait, so the chat tag used add permitted term coming dot.
It was highly effective.
That's great. Oh God, those two words are so great next to each other.
I'm dropping cummies later.
And it's still asking me here.
The fuck you is?
I'll add it. There we go. See, there we go. Video looks mob's like, no, thought. I want to add thought, guys. Oh man, thoughts and prayers. But here's the thing, though, Alan. I'm so stupid. Alan, what would you rate this? And stop judging me.
I'm judging all of y'all right now. What the fuck? I'm judging the chat too. Fuck the chat. I didn't say that when we started the show. Fuck y'all. No
Don't be
particular
a thought,
reason.
Alan.
Actually, no. Fuck you, Kirk. I don't give a shit if Endgame had a fucking story. It was trash.
Yeah, that's very true. But go ahead.
Anyway, when I first saw the first trailer, even before the fucking trailer came out, I was like, "What the fuck is the Joker movie going to be about?" I didn't think it was a real movie. I thought it was just a practical joke. So I was just surprised that they was getting so much press coverage for a joke. But then as the trailers came out, I'm just like, this is just some bullshit. I could see right fucking through this. They just wanted to sell the movie, and they're just jumping on the superhero bandwagon. And then watching the movie, I was again arms crossed, going, "What the fuck is this? This is just, we get it. You're laughing. We get it. Your life's miserable. Okay, just pull out the fucking manifesto. Say, man, the world fucking sucks. And just go shoot people. We fucking know where this is going." But it didn't do that. It eventually calmed itself down and got to a point where I'm like, I get where this is going. Like, you can see where it's going, but it's a roller coaster ride that's interesting, and you're just curious, like, what's the next step? You know the end goal, but how do you get there is what made this movie really interesting. So halfway through, when they start establishing everything, and they actually start building on it, I'm like, I like this. I like this a lot. So as it just kind of get through, but it takes about halfway through the movie before I'm really starting to really get it. And it's something that just kind of, it felt like a breath of fresh air. I'm watching a superhero related product that doesn't feel the need to do the superhero tropes that we see in, again, I'm going to keep shitting on Marvel because they've made more good movies than bad, but they've also ruined a lot of opportunities. But I'm seeing this, I'm like, I want more movies like this. I'm not saying every movie needs to be fucking rated R and like super gory and bloody, whatever the fuck. But I want more movies that aren't afraid to tell a real story. Like, I'm not saying Harley Quinn's going to be that, but I want something else to come out to do that. Maybe the next Batman story could be a little bit more grounded and not just be like, yeah, giant fight in the sky. Like, make it a little bit more grounded, do a little bit better stuff with what you have. So this kind of was a breath of fresh air, just like how The Dark Knight or Civil War is a breath of fresh air for superhero movies. But I can't get past the stuff that I didn't like. The laugh for the first part felt like it was so fucking long. It felt like the worst things in the world that could possibly fucking happen were happening. And but after a while, those did eventually get fixed up. But I was bored for like 45 minutes of this movie. Like, this is an hour. This is an hour and a half fucking. Sorry, this is a 2-hour movie, and I was bored for 45 minutes of it. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat too, so my mind's fucked up.
That's all good.
But yeah, this is a 2-hour movie, and 2-hour movie, and for 45 minutes of it, I was bored out of my mind. So I got to give this like a matinee. I think if you watch it, you'll like it, but it takes a while to get going.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Is like the reason why I had my issues and I said the things I said is because, like, you had to know that because that's going to be an issue for a lot of you guys. For me, though, it's like I deal with someone. I watch Freddy Krueger and I give them all 10s out of 10s. And the thing is like I still don't like when Freddy makes puns. The puns are kind of stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, but you love Freddy 6.
I fucking love Freddy 6. Like, I love all
The
of them.
worst one.
But some of the shit's silly. Jason, I hate the sex scenes. But, you know, when Jason comes out, he makes a movie, like, fucking amazing. Because
Worse.
it's Jason.
He makes it much more sexier.
He makes it somehow worse.
So, but that's the thing. And the reason why you even brought that up, too, is because, like, that's going to be a big thing that we talk about for, like, this whole entire fucking month. Is because, you know, October. And
It's
most
spooky
of these movies...
season, bitches.
Oh, yes.
Right.
You know, so yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna get the fuck out of here though and go into the outdoors and chill with you guys. But at the same time, I just feel like, man, hopefully people don't hate us for our opinions on Joker. And I'm, you know, to talk about Marvel for a second.
Fuck him.
Marvel, I think the only issue that's happening with them is the same thing that was happening with DC just a year ago, whatever the fuck. It's like they got comfortable because they kept batting it like perfect, like 100%, just winning it every single year, every single movie release. And now they're like, man, you know what? I don't think we had to try. Let's just come out with shit. And then they come out with it, and it's fucking garbage, but it still makes so much money. They don't see the repercussions of what they're doing to the industry. They don't see that they're fucking things up. Because they're technically, on paper, not. And it's, you know, it just, it ruins comic books in general. It ruins the whole fucking industry because all it takes is a few... It happened with horror movies. Horror movies were great, and even though they were silly and shit, they were great till like the mid '90s. And then when bullshit came out at the end, you know, the end of the millennium, whatever you call it, I don't know what the fuck.
Well,
And Paranormal Activities and all that shit. It's like, yeah, you pissed off all these fans, and now when a horror movie comes out, it does terrible, horrible.
actually, no. That's the thing is what killed horror movies was horror movies themselves. I think Scream really fucked it up because Scream became meta, and then every horror movie wanted to become meta. Because like Halloween 8 like came out around that time, then Halloween, then Jason X, where they're trying to be these meta things. I think what your issue is that yes, Marvel making the movies that they're doing and being as popular as they did means everyone wants to do the same kind of movie because they want the money. It takes movies like this to come out, not Venom, because Venom was just a fucking happy accident that just happened to work out. It takes movies like this that were intentional. This is everything in this movie is intentional. I think everything in Venom was accidental. Whereas it takes movies like this to be popular so that the industry can start shifting to a new trend. That's what happened with superhero movies used to be like. Do you remember what superhero movies were before
Iron Man?
Yeah, it was Blade and Batman where they're all like, oh man, we gotta be super dark and we gotta be super like, you know, gritty and gory. But then the fun movies came out and that shifted the trend. Now we're just all the fun superhero movies and something dark comes out, we're shifting the trend. As long as you have movies that are coming out, you want the superhero train to end, support movies that don't fit that fucking mold, and you'll start seeing more of that stuff because more people are going to see it more often.
I mean, look at something like Batman, Dark Knight, or when the Dark Knight came out versus Iron Man. They came out around, what, like 3 months apart from each other, I think?
Sure.
Or within the same 3 months. Iron Man's fun, silly, builds an entire universe. In Dark Knight, it's something that's like, okay, we're in the middle of a universe. We're about to, like, you know, continue on something, but more so we're being dark. And it's like, there you go. Now you got a fucking, you know, couple months of two completely different movies that are helping comic books. Like, right now, I don't know a counterpoint from Joker. Is there a happy movie coming out soon? Does Harley Quinn count?
No.
So,
you know, like, I don't know.
The thing is, Harley Quinn doesn't count, but it's one of those things where I think DC is trying to get their identity. Is that the reason that Batman v Superman, Justice League, and Suicide Squad failed is because they were trying so hard to try to do Marvel but dark. Whereas when they realized like Justice League failing is probably the best thing to happen to DC because they're like, you know what, we're gonna stop spending $200+ million on movies. Here, how much you want, Joker? 60 million? Okay, fuck it. Who cares if it's 60 million? And it's doing well. Shazam, how much you want? 100 million? Okay, fine. It did well. Harley Quinn, how much you want? Fucking $100 million? Okay, sure. Fuck it. Have fun. And as a result, they're letting the people basically breathe a little bit more because they're not spending $200+ million. So it's like, I like that because it's giving the writers and the directors a chance to kind of grow this medium and change it up because they're the underdogs now. DC is now the underdogs, which means what happens when you see the underdog stuff? The competition tends to make better stuff than the mainstream media. That's what is happening with iPhones. iPhones are the biggest thing in the world. What does Samsung do? We're just going to do different shit, and now Samsung's winning. So iPhone's like, well, shit, now we got to change it up.
Yeah. But then again, I want to say that, though, because for one, Jet is unmuted, so I'm scared. And another thing, too, is that iPhone 10
that was my little hamster.
No, but what I'm saying is like iPhone got so complacent because everyone was buying it. So what did Samsung do? They fucking swooped in and started killing it. So now iPhone's like, well, shit. Now we got to change things up to try to be back on top. When you're on top and an underdog starts beating you, you have to start. Oh my god! Fuck it. Why? How do I work with you?
I honestly, I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't know what you laughing.
I said on top and underdog, and you guys start chuckling like a 4-year-old. Fuck y'all.
There goes that Joker laugh again. Yep, there it is.
I blame Jet for this.
Well, I'm sorry, Alan, that you got an ugly ass phone and I got a hot phone. Okay, like
You don't have a hot phone yet.
This motherfucker said with underdogs on top, and he's beating the shit out of it.
I didn't say that in that order. God, why do I hate you so much.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, like since we already got him mad, I'm gonna bring up one more thing.
Fuck off.
This is not a full review. This is just a discussion, really quick.
He is the underdog on the bottom.
So as Raheem told me that I'm gonna say it this way, apparently I call October Cocktober. So thank you for that. That's a great name.
That's terrible, but sure.
That's awful. Who the hell says cock?
I actually
White
say
girls.
cock all the time. Yeah.
It's gross. Just call it a dick.
Deek.
But like that sounds better. Dick is like the name of many presidential assholes.
No. You gotta say Deek.
And the dick,
Hush.
the penis, the penesia. But anyways.
Beefy.
It smells like paninas in here. If y'all watch a Big Mouth, it smells like paninas in here.
Oh fuck you.
Ew.
God,
Stop.
that's disgusting. Here's the thing, though. What I wanna bring up really quick is it's October, my favorite month of the fucking year. Horror movies are just like in abundance. Everyone likes to talk about this stuff. So I've been trying to get Jet to watch every fucking horror movie thing that I've ever grown up watching, and we're on a.
how come I just arrived after drinking my hour-long fucking Rocky Mist soda?
Ugh.
I don't even know
sounds
what
like
that
shit.
means.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It's an off-brand, I don't know, Sierra Mist or Mountain Dew. It's Rocky Mist.
Yikes.
That sounds terrible.
My off-brand, like,
So a sandstorm?
no.
Aw.
Ooh.
Yeah, did you guys feel
That
that?
wasn't a pun!
Bonus
Did you guys feel that too?
That wasn't a pun!
Who let this man post?
Hey, that's my line.
Anyways,
Look.
here's the thing.
I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy my off-brand pop, and then I just get dragged into fucking horror shit. Like, what? What do you want from me?
No, because you're going on this journey with me. And here's the thing: is like, you know, I love.
I didn't sign up for that.
Well, you still
Just
watch
like I
it,
didn't
it's not
sign
like
up
you
for
leave.
watching Joker, which I still won't.
Yeah, you will.
Which I appreciate that. I actually will. I admire and I give kudos for the fact that you're actually able to avoid watching that movie.
Next time we go on a group trip, I'm putting it on the living room.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll be somewhere else, like yanking my meat.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Nick, you had a point. For the love of God, let's get to it.
Halloween. We've been watching Halloween movies.
Yanking my meat is
Shut
way better
the
than
fuck
Joker.
up, Jet.
Alan, that Schmeat is in danger.
God Lord. This Halloween series that we're watching, we're basically marathoning, and we just finished Halloween 5, so we're halfway through this entire fucking series. And the thing is like, not to bring Alan into this, because it was really going to be just like a discussion between me and Jet, just because, you know, I know if Alan's talked about it before, but I have to do this, man. You know, we just watched them to refresh my mind. I'm not talking out my fucking ass here. Starting off with this, I will put this out here too for you guys. I didn't like the first Halloween all that much. Watching it again, it aged badly. It's very slow and it's very fucking long. Halloween 2 is great. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, I feel like... What were you going to say? I'm
It's
curious.
a terrible, terrible fucking movie.
Jed, do you agree with him?
Which one is that?
Season of the Witch, the one that's not with Michael Myers.
Oh, honestly, it's okay.
Like, it's okay for an 80s horror movie that, I mean, it looks like a fucking B movie, to be honest with
Like,
you.
I don't hate it. I mean, it had some pretty like good gory scenes in there. The story was fucking atrocious.
Yeah, the
super
story is fucking
atrocious.
trash.
But I mean, like, what? I'm not watching fucking these slasher fucking villains in these fucking movies for some great written fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, and then by the way, too, is like this has that same trope with the government being so evil. Or I don't even think it's a government thing. I think it's just like the top of his whole fucking like its business and like, you know, doing marketing and all that stuff. Roxanne, I know you watch plenty of fucking Michael Myers movies. What'd you feel about Halloween 3, the one that doesn't have Michael Myers?
It's alright.
It's all right. It's okay, bro.
Gosh, it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
it's not. It's fucking.
It's campy.
Okay, the story's atrocious. All the dialogue is just a wave off, so that you don't think about it too much. The progression makes no goddamn sense, and the movie doesn't fucking end.
That's
He
how
just
I felt.
screams
That's
into
how I
a
felt.
phone and it cuts
That's
to
how I felt
credits.
about the fifth one.
yeah, because that's the thing. Because we watched 4 after this, and 4 was a really good, like, oh, back to Michael Myers, cool, and I like the movie and everything. But then we move on to the 5th one, and here's the thing with the 5th one.
Like,
man.
girl, can you talk or not? Make up your fucking mind.
Literally just they cut that shit after 20 minutes, y'all. Just like, she can't talk. Yeah, and then all of a sudden when she starts talking, it's not like a gradual like, I can talk. It's like, Tina! She
Look,
calls
I'm
out
not
for
saying
Tina
Jason. I'm
way
not saying
more.
Halloween 5 is the best Halloween. I just genuinely enjoyed it because
Jason 5?
yeah, Jason 5 fucking sucks. Jason,
Hey,
all the
man.
Jason movies suck, but fuck
New
it.
York apparently has the best cinematography for him. He's very confused when it comes to the man.
That's
behind
Jason
this.
8, motherfucker.
So he knows.
Oh my God, Ganja.
I
Wait,
just
which
want
movie
to
are
fuck
we
with
talking
him.
about now? I'm confused. Are we talking
I
about,
just
talking about fucking Friday
want
the
to
13th
fuck
or
with
fucking
him.
Halloween?
Don't
Ganja just
think
wants
too
attention,
hard.
so he just like broke a bottle. Boosh.
I'm lonely.
Well, then watch the fucking horror movies, you
Bitch.
son of a
Man,
bitch.
fuck you, Chris Aries. Jason X is a bastard.
Hey,
Thank you,
he's
Chris
having
is the
a good-
worst one.
Chris
Everyone's
Aries,
having a
thank
good
you.
time
Outside
talking
for
about
me.
horror films, and I have nothing to input. I'm lonely.
Here's the thing, though. Thank you so much,
You're
Chris.
sleeping
'Cause
on the porch.
Jason,
No.
Jason X is actually a really, really good movie.
No, it's
very,
not.
very
It's
fun.
fucking terrible.
It is what it is. But here's the thing. So, and Jason Takes Manhattan, some fucking
Oh,
bullshit.
kill. It is.
Max-
Jason doesn't go to Manhattan.
Max.
Jason-
No, he
Cruise.
does, but he spends 15 minutes in Manhattan.
Jason goes on a cruise should be the fucking movie.
Max, I hope you're fucking joking. I will come after your ass if you really mean
He's
that.
trying to fucking stir up the fight between me and you again.
Yeah. Oh,
what
good
he does.
choreography. Fucking, I yanked the fucking balls.
Oh
from
man, Freddy 6 is the best Freddy.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I'm
I didn't
Nick.
say it was the best. Part 2 is the best, son. The gayest Freddy Krueger movie ever. Yes.
Wait, part 2 is the best Freddy movie. What the fuck are
Fuck
you
yeah,
on?
it's good. It's like the
No, it's
mix
not.
between Scary Freddy.
The first one and a New Nightmare are like
First one is
contending for the
bad.
best one.
I mean, like, two
The
is
first
not
one's
the
not
best
bad.
One.
You
The
are
2 is
wrong.
not the best one when the third one's out there. Let's be
Third,
honest.
okay,
here.
Dreamcatcher is a great concept. I think the movie is okay. It's a good movie, but I think the concept's more interesting than the actual execution.
Dude, Halloween
Like,
one really
that
has
one
the
I could
worst
watch.
thing.
I could watch that one way more than any other fucking Freddy movie.
New Nightmare's really good.
Actually, you know what? Nah, those two are basically tied for me.
Here's the thing, Halloween. Halloween. We're gonna talk about lots of horror here, so sorry.
Yeah, wait, which one are we talking about?
Nightmare one. The reason why I don't like the movie is because that dialogue, especially for the mom, like locked. You can't go outside, Nancy. And then like at the very end, like
It's a dream. It's not real. It's a dream. It's not real.
it's not real, it's just a dream. And then Freddy's like, oh, like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking idiots. And then, oh god, and then the Robert Shea produced fucking ending where Freddy's glove comes out and yanks a fucking blow up doll inside the goddamn hole of the door. Like, man, come on, you know that shit's silly as fuck, Alan.
I'm not saying it's the greatest fucking masterpiece, but the reason I enjoyed the first Nightmare on Elm Street was because as you're going through, it basically takes its time. It builds up the characters, and it feels like you get to know Nancy and you get to know the people around her as it's going on. Because one of the things, the reason I hated horror movies, and we had this discussion before I went to my deep dive of watching fucking 30 horror movies in a month, is I hated how there was never any character development, how it was just a bunch of meatbags and a bunch of assholes that you just watched die over the course of a fucking hour. Where this, it's like I felt like they were doing interesting stuff with it, interesting with the characters and building up this world that I felt like it was a real lived-in world that had rules and limitations and things that were going on, and had a way to fight back that felt really organic. So yeah, there's some stuff with that, but it's like, yeah, it's practical effects of the fucking 70s. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and expect like Matrix levels of fucking
It
practical
was the
effects.
middle of the 80s, sir. And by the way, with that
Whatever.
the whole thing you just said, oh, well, I just like that they're not a bunch of meatbags and, you know, they have character development and all this shit. Then explain your fucking okayness with Halloween 5. How do you not hate this fucking movie?
So the thing about Halloween 5 is this is when they decided, like, Season of the Witch either did super terribly financially or critically, and they said, fuck it, we gotta bring back Michael Myers. So we're gonna go with the return of, like, the Michael Myers basically trilogy, where they do the 3 ones in a row, which end in of Michael Myers, so the Curse, the Return, whatever the fuck they're
Curse.
called.
Yeah.
Is this one the Curse of, no, the Curse is the 6th one. What is this one, the Return or
This-
the
this
Revenge?
Return. This is the Revenge of Michael Myers.
Ain't
We're
no,
right,
ain't
yeah,
no
this is
one
Revenge of Michael
remembering
Myers.
these fucking titles for these fucking movies. Just call it Halloween 5, 6.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, because we tried to do that, and we thought Curse was 5.
No,
So
you
the
thought
Curse-
that shit.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You were there, too.
And by the
didn't
way,
say
you
shit.
also like 6, but I'll yell at you about that next week.
No, 5 is better than 6. And for people that don't remember, if you go back to our YouTube channel, there is actually the review in which we did, in which I reviewed all 10 of them in one shot. I'm not going to do that again because I'm not crazy. But the reason I liked Halloween 5 was because at this point I've seen 5 Halloween movies, so I got the formula. And the formula is like for 40 minutes, it's just build up of the characters until, you know, and you'll often see a little bit of Mike Myers. He'll show up kind of a little bit. But the movie doesn't really start until about 45 minutes into it. But what I liked about it is, as much as there was some crazy, stupid shit, I like that the interaction between the girl and Tina, like her older sister, I really felt that was real and organic, and it felt
Tina's
like
not
she
her
cared
sister.
about her.
Wait a minute, where was that? Because they barely interacted.
They interact a lot throughout the movie. So, and especially with her and her
Where?
friends, that they interact a lot throughout the movie. We saw this last week in the after hours.
Let's remember this bitch couldn't talk.
Yeah.
So her interaction was basically Tina.
Yeah, because again, it felt like making you feel safe. Like, not saying every interaction has to be them fucking talking for like an hour straight, but whenever they're in the same room, it felt
They
organic.
had was basically like in the fucking like what was it? The goddamn
Jen, are you reviewing this or me?
fucking hospital room? Like
Are you
they
talking?
barely
You know what?
talked.
You
They
review Halloween
barely
Five.
They barely had any interaction.
They don't even talking about their the whole fucking movie, either vocally or just
fucking movie?
physically.
The whole fucking movie.
Here's the
Any
thing.
fucking way. I liked a lot of what the characters were doing and how they were able to at least not totally flesh them out, but flesh them out as much as the movie needed to. So when the movie finally does start, you have the situation where you start feeling bad for
And
some of
more
the people that are
interaction
being
with that
off
little
off.
boy than she did fucking Tina.
Here's the biggest thing too. Like the only reason I'm allowing her to interrupt because by the way, I can't tell Joe what to do. So like, hey, sorry.
Yeah, I'm about
You're
to
a
say,
cat.
who the fuck are
I'm
you?
not
Who
being
the
a
fuck are
shitty
you?
host here. I don't have an option, y'all. But the thing is, though, is like the main thing too that I'm almost in agreement with her is because like for one, Tina's not the sister. So I'm almost wondering like, are you talking about Rachel? Because Rachel's the one from the fourth one that they have all the dialogue with. But Tina is the friend who's out. She cares more about fucking people. Than
Okay,
she
so
does fucking-
again, as much as I did enjoy the movie, sometimes names the girl with the black hair.
Okay, that's Tina. Yeah, so I'm more confused. Like the whole movie she's like out trying to fuck and shit.
Well, no, she's out there, but when they are interacting, it's like I felt like a genuine like chemistry between the two characters, and I felt like they genuinely were like related. Because I think like she's the adopted sister, so I'm like okay, I felt like especially watching it the second, I'm like I like when they're on screen together. I like when they're interacting, and I like when they're doing what they're doing. She doesn't feel like she's an asshole character. Jesus Christ, Jess, shut the goddamn fuck up.
No, because I'm really trying to think what you saw. Like I'm just like,
What
Where was
I saw
that?
is like she's not an asshole. She's not a terrible person. She's just a normal teenager. And I like that about it because often in these movies, they're trying to make everyone seem like the asshole drunk losers. Like that's what every character ends
this girl tried to pull a fucking Michael Myers prank with the police officers and shit. Like, yeah, she's a pretty
fuck the
terrible person.
police.
But you don't think that's
I
dumb as
stand
fuck?
by this. Coming straight
Well,
from
yeah,
the
I'm with that too. But it's just like, yeah, there's a fucking serial killer going around. Like, I don't want to be playing no goddamn jokes.
And by the way, like I know you guys like cool, yay, fuck the police, because that's awesome. It's like another thing too, though, is like these cops are just fucking dudes that were sent out to like take care of this bitch. So I'm sorry, but no, fuck the police. How about fuck these people that are fucking with the goddamn police? And this happens in every fucking movie, by the way, because in the first one someone does that and they get chased off. The second one someone gets ran over and exploded. The fucking fourth one they get he almost gets shot. It's actually like 8 different fake Michael Myers. It's so like what the fuck?
Like,
Well, 'cause
these
they
cops
don't
actually do
believe
what
it in
they're
whatever
supposed
area
to
they're in.
do for once.
Yeah, and then it gets to a point too where like one dude does it, and then like the movie makes us watch him make out with his girl for like I swear to God that was the longest build up to a sex scene I've ever seen in my fucking
I
life.
will say though that sex scene actually made me laugh because while he was like trying to be all sexy and shit like that, while he was on top of her, his hair like was going in a certain direction. I was just like, is that fucking Pennywise with his fucking makeup off? Ew.
But yeah, especially as the movie goes on and like you finally hit the 45-minute mark and it's like okay, the movie finally starts. I just enjoyed the chase sequence because as he's going through and it's like he jumps from just doing his typical walking thing to the motherfucker gets a car. I'm just enjoying the ride because it just becomes a roller coaster. It becomes one of the ones that has not so much necessarily the most going on, but just kind of the more interesting settings. It's not just we're just in this one house. It's like no, we're going across the fucking city as he's chasing her. It feels like in some cases, and it goes through. I'm like, yeah, I'm just liking the fucking flow of it, and I'm liking what it seemed like it was setting up for something cool, and then we see 6, but it seemed like it was setting up for something really interesting. And yeah, I just overall, I'm like, yeah, I'm liking this movie, especially seeing it the second time.
Okay, but yeah, like as we're watching this though, I started getting mad because it was taking so long to get to certain things, as well as the fact that like, like apparently Michael Myers is the fastest fucking house mover in the world. He kills the main character from the last movie, which by the way, she doesn't react to anything like she went through the shit she did last Halloween. She's just like, well, yay, I'm gonna go out and party with my friends, and it's gonna be great. I can't wait. And then, Tina, I'll see you later. Oh shit, Michael Myers is here. I'm dead. And it's like, dude, you couldn't give her any more fucking like, you couldn't give her anything to the point where like this girl becomes just like a sex appeal thing. Like they show her in the shower just to have a shower scene. Then she walks back and forth between the shower and the fucking window just so we can like not see anything happen. She's just like, hey guys, isn't it sexy that like I'm naked walking around and then I go outside and some dude's looking at me a certain way, then I go back inside. It's like, dude, how long are you gonna take? Like that was fucking 12 goddamn minutes of just
Like the sister in this one pissed me off so fucking
So
much because it's just like, so we get the fucking like Halloween 2000 was it 2018?
yeah, from last year.
Yeah, we get that one and fucking what's the name of the girl from
Jamie
Purple?
Curtis or
What's her character's name?
I do not know actually because she
Yeah,
actually has
fucking Jamie Lee
names.
Curtis got attacked like once or twice, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, she's preparing her whole life for him to come back again. This bitch, this shit only happens a year prior. Halloween happens again. She's just like, yeah, nothing else is gonna fucking happen. I'm not. Feeling
Yeah, but that's
any sort-
different
I'm not-
though,
I'm-
because
I'm
that's
not feeling
different though. By
any
the time we
sort of
see,
way that maybe I should feel a little bit uneasy about this time of year or anything like that.
oh no, because that's a complete one. They're completely different characters. Two, even if you take H2O into account, it's like fucking at least 10 years, 15 years. And then Halloween, the fucking new Halloween is like 40 years. Like it's only
No,
been a
like
year.
still, like even if like
that
the
only
characters are
accentuates your
vastly
point, by the
different,
way.
I'm pretty sure like if some shit like that happened to me on Halloween, I'm gonna be on fucking edge. Like
Yeah, especially a
this
year
motherfucker's
later.
gonna come back. This motherfucker is gonna try to kill me or whatever because I got away.
Well, again with the ending, I can't. Yeah, no, the ending of fucking 4, they shoot that motherfucker and blow him up. Like I was like, yeah, I'm
But
pretty
you
sure
would
he's
think they
fucking
should
dead.
be-
You think if someone came back from a fucking exploding building, that maybe there's a chance that this motherfucker could.
Yeah,
come
but no
back.
one's gonna believe that shit. The only fucking proof they have is crazy Dr. Loomis, who just keeps screaming like he's fighting the fucking devil. No one's
Who's
gonna
been
believe
right
that.
multiple times, and that's another thing.
He's always
You
right.
should
but
listen.
Okay, but that's not the thing. Is that's a horror movies tropes that movies like this fucking started. Is the characters not believing that the villain's ever gonna come back?
They did believe in one, like in the for one previous. They were just like, okay, yeah, this motherfucker's back. We gotta do
the
something
whole
about
town's
this.
ready to shoot him. The whole town's like,
So
fuck
now,
that kid.
a year later, no one is thinking like, you know what? Maybe we should believe this dude.
Yeah.
After the previous movie, they were just like, you know what? Michael
Yeah.
Myers is back. He's gonna kill some people. Don't you remember what happened last year? Let's prevent that.
Yeah, when fucking half the police department fired enough bullets into him, and then he fell fucking 15 feet and landed on a rock.
But
Getting
yeah.
blown up in a building didn't stop them from being like, yeah, this motherfucker's back. Mob.
And to the point too, like Rachel doesn't react to the kid, to Jamie, as much as she should too. It's like, hey, we're here, bought you a dress, but there wasn't any discussion on like, yeah, you did kill our fucking mom. She's actually more my mom than she is your mom because you're adopted. You killed my fucking mom, and yeah, I'm just gonna be like, yo, what's up? High five. You want me to buy you like another costume so you kill another motherfucker? You crazy ass, can't talk ass little bitch. Like holy shit. Like you would think, and then she's having like weird exorcism, like twitching and shit. She's doing like the boogeyman from
Psychic
WWE.
connection with Michael Myers, which is fucking ridiculous.
It was
but-
dumb as shit. It was like some Sam Witwicky, like Megatron's trying to show me the signs, bro. It's like fucking ridiculous.
Uncle?
Yeah.
Uncle? Oh my fucking.
And the biggest thing too is like she knows that she's doing these twitchy things. Like she's acting like fucking how the kid does in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, where he's like blah, 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 and just like Tasmanian deviling in the fucking car or in the bed. And I like how Rachel is just like, oh, well, it's no big deal. I mean, I gotta get dick tonight, so I'm just gonna leave and take a shower and fuck my little niece or little sister, whatever the fuck. You're going through all this shit. You're freaking out. You're having like spasms that's somehow connected to Michael Myers. But I'm not gonna care though. I mean, Dr. Loomis even tells her, "God damn it, woman, set the
He
fuck
keeps
down."
trying to kill her.
Yeah, that was great.
He keeps trying to shoot the child.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like, dude, like this movie was just so like disconnected from the threat of Michael Myers. It was like, dude, no one's taking this seriously except for Dr.
They
Loomis.
did. They said, fuck that one, Arthur Fonzarelli dude. Knock
Oh,
up
yeah.
Arthur Fonzarelli fucking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days looking ass bitch. They're just like, give him 2 minutes of screen time and get the fuck out of here.
Yo, nah, man. The roommate he had for a year?
No, the asshole, the one that was like, he was gonna date Tina actually. Like he was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
go with her to the party. And then-
The greaser looking motherfucker.
Okay, yeah, no, I thought you were talking about the fucking roommate he had for a year at the start of the fucking movie. That's always my favorite part of that. He's just chilling in this dude's fucking cave for like a fucking
like he turns
year,
around, he's like, "Hey man, you want me to put some ramen on stuff?" Oh fuck! And just like,
I gotta go to work. Sorry, Bill. Bah!
yeah, man. Like, you would think Michael Myers would have left him a note too, like just like, "Hey,
Hey.
man, thanks for helping me out for the last year."
I was like, yeah, man. Hey, he helped pay. He probably paid rent. They probably went grocery shopping. He helped make food.
That's
Like
his
he's a
own
good
damn
roommate.
fault. That's his own damn fault. You're gonna find a fucking body and shit. Not alert anyone.
Things
to
were
why the
great
fucking
for a
body-
year, Jet. How many roommates have you had that would probably be good for that long? I bet there's people in the chat that had roommates.
Well, it
like-
didn't end out. It didn't end up great because he's dead.
Well,
He paid rent. I bet he paid on time.
Here's the thing, maybe Bill did something where maybe, and I'm just calling him Bill
How's
for
he
the
gonna
fuck of it.
pay rent? He ain't got no goddamn job.
You don't know that.
Yeah, we
oh,
don't
he
know
has
that.
a job. He has a mechanics outfit.
but
He'll
Alan,
just go
maybe
fucking fix a car.
Alan, maybe he left the toilet seat open. You know, he just left it up.
Open?
Oh yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's
Kill
still
him.
open, right?
I mean, I hope it's open. Jesus Christ.
It's open for business. No, but I bet Michael Myers. I don't know. That's a weird thing too. Is like, so Michael Myers can control his killing thing. Well, that's like less threatening. And then he's controlled by the Thorn apparently, because at the end they kind of allude to that, and the next movie completely says that.
Well, it's not
So
that
it's
less
like-
threatening. Is that he only really does his killing on literally just fucking Halloween Eve is when he fucking starts.
Yeah, but that's
It's
like a
like
weird
Santa
schedule.
Claus.
Yeah, that's a weird schedule. Like, I'm a serial killer that's unstoppable, but only on the 20 or on the 31st. Ooh, it's like, how is that scary? That's fucking stupid.
What do you mean? Yeah, of course that's fucking scary. You're like, well, shit, I gotta prepare. I gotta get fucking ready because Halloween, he's basically unstoppable. And that's what I said with the sixth one. That's why the sixth one makes the most sense because it explains all the stupid bullshit that we saw in 5.
That's another thing. She wasn't even alert. Like, they didn't find no damn body, so she wasn't an alert, like, at all. Like, there's a possibility that this dude who survived all this other stuff could be alive because they didn't find a body.
Yeah, and then the lady,
I'd
like,
be creeped out.
Tina walks into the room where she was killed. There's no blood anywhere, so apparently Michael Myers is a really good cleaner. And then I like how the body's gone and no one saw him like walking to where the fuck he was gonna go.
Like,
hiding
that's
the
a
body.
Literally
suburban
just
ass
chilled there for a
fucking.
year.
That suburban ass fucking neighborhood. You mean to tell me that somehow he was able to grab her body, no blood left behind, and move it all the way there? Did he have a car?
Yeah,
He had a car at the beginning.
he's he
No,
drives
he-
in the movie a lot.
No, but he has a car after he kills the Fonz-looking motherfucker. Like,
Well, he had 2 cars.
But he killed her way before he killed the Fonz.
I'm sure if he got 1 car, he could probably get another car.
all I'm saying is, looking at this movie,
So no one saw this weird car parked outside, and then this dude just having this body, throwing it in the car, or basically walking around with this body anywhere. and
It
just
was
like,
night. It was dark outside.
No, it was light out.
Well, he's really good at hiding. I don't know what the fuck you want me to
these
tell
are
you.
non-arguments, goddammit.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
it was-
Okay,
it was
whoa,
just
you gotta
symbolism.
understand. When I say I like this movie, I'm not trying to sit there and be like, well, the movie doesn't have any fucking flaws. It's fucking stupid as shit. It's probably one of the dumber Halloween movies. But I also seen fucking 4, which is just as fucking stupid. And it's like,
Oh,
especially
you
with
son
6,
of a-
that ends up being stupider. This one ends up falling in the middle. Like, you know what? It's not that bad.
See,
I
the
like
reason
4 way
why-
better than that.
And this is another
Than
reason why I even
5.
brought this up too, because like on top of just me and Jed doing a review and everything, I wanted to bring this up to show you, Alan, that like I don't know if you're in a good mood when you watch this fucking movie, but there's such a handful of issues with this movie. I know you agreed to them. I know you're like, yeah, it totally has issues. But to say that this was in the middle between 4 and fucking 6, like,
Yeah.
as far as quality goes, I cannot fucking believe
6
it.
is a terrible fucking movie. That is so unbelievably stupid that the only way that can almost somewhat explain all this stupid bullshit is like cult magic.
Yeah, it's bad, but 4? You're saying that this is better than 4 even on
Yeah,
same
I think
par?
5 is way better than 4 because 4 is boring as fuck. I don't remember a single thing from 4. That's how bored I was. I remember almost every single thing from other fucking, like, at least scenes or aspects or dialogue from every other Halloween movie, even the Rob Zombie ones. I can't remember. The only thing I can remember for fucking 6 is, for 4 is them, like, transporting him from one place to the other, and someone says knees, and he goes, well, gotta get up for work. Like, the only thing I fucking remember from that movie.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you. 4 is not a good movie.
But okay, so what was memorable from 5?
I named a bunch of stuff. The car scene and when he's chasing her in the car, the entire house sequence. Like a lot of the other aspects with Loomis always wanted to kill the girl. Like those aspects were actually kind of cool.
So I mean,
Even
like,
the bad aspects that we fucking discussed of like the fucking stuttering that I'm like, I get what they're trying to go for, but it also never works.
Yeah, I mean, subjectively, I guess, like, I can't argue with whatever you see. When I was a kid, I liked it too. Maybe it's just like when you've seen so many horror movies, you know, you'll change your mind about certain things, and then when it's something fresh to you, it's like, oh yeah, like this is great. I watching this again, I remember liking it, but watching this time, I'm like, holy fuck, what was I thinking? This movie fucking blows, and it's so fucking long, dude. It's so unedited.
Oh, no, what are you talking about? It's just as long as the other ones.
No, but like what I'm saying,
It
like,
takes a
feels
long time to fucking start, and it's super boring.
But the car scene, I agree, it's cool. Lasted 2 minutes. We had to get through a 12-minute, like, almost going to have sex scene, then another 2 minutes of actual sex. We had to have dancing, lots of, I'm gonna dance drunkenly and fall on the couch. Oh, you wanna fuck me? Nah, never mind, don't
That's
fuck me.
typical. Again, that you act like that didn't happen in other fucking movies. Like that's
happens in
Halloween
Jason
one as
movies.
well.
Well, the one in 5 actually pissed me off because they're having sex like on top of fucking hay, and it's just like, you know damn well that's all scratchy and,
And it
shit.
happens in
You
6
know
too, and I
damn
hate
well
it.
that sucks.
It happens, not 6, it happens in 1 as well, and I hate the points in part 1. Like, the first Halloween movie to me is like a fucking straight up 2.5 out of 5. Like that movie is really, really not that good. I give it respect for all the stuff that started, and this whole franchise probably wouldn't be existing without the quality of the first one being as what it was back in 1978. But my God, watching back, it's like I got into a big argument with Christian Torres, like, you know, and I won't even talk shit about him this time, guys. But it's
I
like,
will. No, I'm kidding.
but you know, he's like, dude, that movie for what it was worth, and when that movie came out at the time, it was fucking amazing. How dare you talk shit about that movie now? I'm like, well, let me just explain something. I'm not fucking 40 years old. I was born 1989, dude. So like when I came out, I had fucking Freddy, Jason, Michael, Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, everything. So
Well,
I don't give a fuck that it was taboo for the babysitters to be assaulted in the fucking thing. Like there's a first for everything. The first horror movie ever made was Nosferatu. Are you gonna watch that right now, fuckface? No. You know, it's just, it is the way it is. So just because it's the first doesn't mean it has to be the best. And these movies, you know, some people will say, oh, because it's a fourth sequel, it's going to be trash. And it's like, no, it's not
Just
the reason
because
why.
it's a classic doesn't mean it's good, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Something to be classic.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I don't think I'm going to just watch
I'm
people
good.
rape people for a fucking movie.
But that's the thing. Like, I actually do like the first Halloween because that's actually what made me like in particular. Like, I'm just gonna watch all these because it had a slow build, but I felt like it was always going towards something. I like the camera shots and what they were doing. It was basically making you feel like you, the audience, were stalking the killer as you're watching him do the steps. So it almost felt like you were complicit. I like what they were doing with that. And I liked it so much that it's like, yeah, they sometimes try to keep a similar tone throughout the movies, and then just get super fucking nuts. But then by 5, I already figured out the formula of these fucking movies, so I'm just kind of enjoying the ride and seeing what else they're gonna fucking do as it goes through. That's why 5 to me always stuck out from the other ones. So I'm just enjoying this more than some of the other ones.
Yeah, so I mean, going back to this, I'm just, you know, I wasn't a huge like Super Michael Myers fan. I just watched these like as I would get them from the pawn shop or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I mean, for me, I'm giving this like a 2 out of 5. So I mean that's like an avoided as far as like our rating system goes. 2 out of 5 for me. I'm sorry that I had to make you watch this, Jet, but at the same time, it's fucking October. We're gonna watch all these Halloween movies, and you're gonna get a respect for Michael Myers. Goddammit, I'm gonna show you the good stuff.
I don't respect any of these slashers, by the way.
We're watching Halloween 6 in the after hours.
Oh,
I don't respect. I don't know how we're gonna do that because Glitch is down for maintenance. Wah wah.
Yeah, we'll figure something.
And it's
out.
Fine,
probably
I'll
not gonna be
narrate
back
the
until
whole time.
Sunday.
But Jet, what would you rate this movie numerically, like out of 5?
I was gonna say 1.5, but I'll give it a 2.
I'll give it a 2. Okay, yeah. And here's the thing: is like, you know, this is just one of the really, really bad movies of the franchise, but it does get better. I'm not saying.
Also, his terrible fucking mask tape like took it down.
Yeah, especially the one from 4 too. It's so clean, and then like this one's so dirty, but like they're both so like just vibrantly white. If that makes any sense, it's like soft looking. It's not.
It looks like a Michael Myers mask that you would buy off eBay and shit. When you got it, the hair was all falling off and shit. The nose isn't actually like protruding out. It's actually it's basically like straight up just on the mask, like drawn on the mask.
But Alan, what would you rate this numerically?
I think I would give this 3 out of 5 because as much as it has other problems that there are, I have problems with the movie. I just enjoyed the progression, especially watching it a second time where I'm like, did I like this? Oh, wait, I actually do. Because it always stuck out for me when I first watched it in a binge where I watched like 7 of these in a row. 5 always did stick out. And I was like, yeah, because I like the characters, I like the progression, I like the car scene. The car scene is actually really one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And watching it again, I'm like, well, I was like, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, all the sequels of Halloween, yeah, they're kind of eh. But then watching it, I'm like, oh, I do like this. I like a lot. Yeah, freaking Loomis is always fucking interesting because he's the only one that really treats him like the fucking demon that he is. Shut the hell up, Jet.
He's basically kind of phoning in those last 2 movies.
He's fucking.
He's basically just standing around like.
He is the demon eyes. He has hell within him.
Like, yeah, I appreciate him for basically, sticking around with these movies and basically saying like, yeah, this dude fucking sucks. Kill him already. He fucking sucks. But just like most of the time, he's just standing there going.
I don't know. Again, and I did it, but again, like I said, I did enjoy that. So it's like there are problems with it. It does suffer from it does suffer from the formula that the Halloween movies always fucking do. So it's like I can't sit there and give it a 4 or 5. I'm not fucking nuts, but like 3, it's like I think 3 is a decent number. It's a little bit above average, which is fair.
I don't see how you could give it that rating when half the movie was basically just like.
I don't know. When I fucking saw the cult of fucking or the curse of fucking Michael Myers and go, what the fuck was this movie?
Before we get the fuck out here, by the way, too, I know that I didn't ask this person too much questions because y'all were going to just cut each other. But, Rox, the final say, I'm going to ask you, what would you rate Halloween 5? And do you agree with most of what me and Jet were saying about like hating this fucking movie, or do you agree with Alan more because he's lame?
Fuck you.
When it comes to, you said Halloween 5?
Yeah, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
It's alright.
It's alright. Yeah, what would you rate this?
It's fine. 2.3.
Oh, damn. That's the first time we've had
What are you breaking
2.3?
it down that you're able to go to that many decibels?
like that. It's like, there must have been something really fucking small. I was like, you know what? I gotta bring it down just a little bit more, because fuck that thing. That particular thing. But,
The mask was ugly.
yeah.
See?
He had to deal with it for a year. He's gonna go to his mask maintenance guy.
It was ugly.
Yeah, so was Michael Myers. What the fuck you want?
Okay, actually, that's another thing, too.
For the mask to be prettier? The fuck?
Okay, sorry. Sorry you want him to be aesthetically beautiful as he murders people.
No, the dude, so they showed his face. He's a good-looking guy. What the fuck was
I
that?
want his titties to glisten right before he kills somebody. That would bring up my rating.
Oh, Jesus. So basically, you want Ganja to star in this fucking movie. I see you. I get it.
Halloween
Well,
Resurrection
Well,
is
like
like
you
the worst
said,
one.
I didn't really like it too much. Honestly, the only thing that brought it up a couple points was that one scene with Billy and what's her face? The little girl?
Oh, Jamie?
With Jamie. I almost called her Danielle. That one little scene.
I think that's where it was.
Well,
Is that
Danielle
her-
Harris, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's her real name. The only thing that brought it up slightly was that scene where he's like, "Oh, this is for you," and he puts on a little bracelet on her.
Yeah, I mean, it was cute. but then
It
there's a
was
part-
kind of cute.
There's a part, though, where he's trying to do something. He's like, are you okay? And she's like, no, fuck off. And she's like punching him like, to get him away. And he's just like, okay. Like, that shit, my God, like, that hit me hard. I was like, man, fuck her then. Like, go have
The,
fun.
the interaction between whatever that kid's name was and the little girl, that was way better than anything with her and Tiffany.
Yeah, see, now there's some chemistry, goddammit. Fucking
Oh, it's just a
hell.
bunch of haters.
Yeah.
He wasn't with her most of the movie, Alan.
Shut up, Jet.
I mean, seriously, it was like a total of 12 minutes, but
It
it's
doesn't
alright.
fucking matter. You don't sit there for the whole fucking movie to have great interaction. Whatever they're on screen
Like,
together
hey, I
was
brought the
fine.
dog. Hey, I'm gonna tuck you into bed. Those are the two scenes.
Man,
Oh
that was-
yeah, and then the one where they were running away from the car.
No, but then they split when they run away from the car.
That's it.
Fuck
They weren't
y'all.
even running away together.
I can't wait till you get her ass to watch Halloween 8. Tell us how much you like that fucking movie.
That
you
shit's
piece
great.
of
Buster
shit.
Rhymes, I thank you for whoever sent in the chat. Buster Rhymes is a godsend to that franchise. That was
Oh,
amazing.
fuck
In a
you.
great
Halloween
way.
8 is the worst Halloween movie.
It's so not. It's so
It
fucking
is.
not.
Name me one movie. Okay, you can't tell me 5 is better than 8 or 5 is worse than 8.
No, 5 is definitely worse than 8. 8's fun.
Oh, you are so up your own
It's
ass.
very
Holy
short. It's like literally like a little bit past an hour and a half. There's like 3 times as many kills. Buster Rhymes is hilarious.
Dude,
and
it
he's
is
badass.
so bad. It is so unbelievably
Busta
terrible throughout the
Rhymes,
fucking
though.
movie. The acting is cringy. The dialogue is fucking terrible. And Michael Myers is just chilling in a fucking bottom of the house, just eating rats for a fucking year, and says, "Fucking, I'm gonna murder a bunch of people."
He was
And don't even
hungry.
start on the retcon. It retcon
Well, your
7
feet don't
so
touch the
bad.
floor. Sit on a
Oh,
chair.
wait.
Let's move on.
What?
Nothing.
Chris, if people are cool with it, I don't know how many people from our group actually watched it, but you know, like yeah, if everyone's down, I would love to have a spoilers about that shit. I love, man, God, it's so nice to like a comic book
Wait,
movie.
spoilers
I'm
about what?
glad that I like the
Joker.
piece of media this fucking year and as far as movies.
Thank you, Raheem. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Don't you get me fucking started on that stupid shit.
I
Oh my god, I
fucking
hated that
love
fucking movie.
Buster Rhymes so much.
And I've seen all the Halloween movies, so yeah, I still think 8's the worst one. It's like two.
So which one's worse? Halloween 8 or Freddy 4?
I
How
still
dare
think Freddy 5 is way worse than.
No,
Freddy
wait.
4.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Freddy
Which is
5.
Dream Child? Dream Child's the
Yeah.
worst one. Like 6 is bad, but 5 is way worse than 6.
Yeah, but I still say well, like Resurrection's good.
We
I
gotta
s-
make a poll: Freddy 5, Jason 5, and then Halloween 8, which is the worst one.
like
Well,
Freddy
the
5
thing is, like, all the Jason movies are fucking terrible.
Yeah,
To an
I
extent.
fucking agree.
Some of them are a little bit enjoyable.
9
to
is
a
actually
point.
not bad. Like,
But, like-
for me, it's pretty good.
Anyway, so here's the thing, guys. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. So with all that said, thank you for hanging out with us too for like 2 hours and 17 fucking minutes. Like that's a long fucking show. So thank you very much for doing that. Hopefully we didn't spoil anything for anybody. It is what it is. Yeah, Discord. We're still gonna be in there. We might not be able to watch videos, or whatever. We'll find some kind of way to kind of like fix that. But I don't know what the fuck we'll be able to do. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Alan, why don't you tell people where to find you outside the chat tag, dude?
Yes, if you go to oneofus.net and go to Screener Squad, you'll be able to check out all sorts of stuff that we've been basically reviewing a crap ton of shit. As I mentioned at the start of the show, we did do
Shit ton of crap.
trust me, there's been some bullshit. We did a Low Tide indie movie. It was fucking garbage. But yeah, if you go there, because we just, as I said at the start of the show, we did do today. We did record in the tall grass,
Actually,
and the
can
review
you
should be
spoil
up in a
something
couple
for
days.
me?
What's up?
Did someone have sex in the tall grass?
Someone, someone almost gets raped.
Wow. Okay.
Fucking God.
Okay,
I think
okay,
Jet called that.
No, I know, but hold on, Jet. Don't you even start doing this thing where it's like, I knew it. Like, yeah, it's fucking.
She did
like,
say
it's a
that.
horror
Like, she
movie.
did straight
There's
call
a
that.
huge. I know, but there's a huge percentile for ratio.
I'm gonna start
that
dancing now.
It is honestly, I fucking hate. I almost want to give a quick thing here with that show. I fucking hated the Tall Grass so much. It was such a bad movie, but it was as bad as I expected. So I'll give that. But yeah, the review will be up in a couple of days. There's also other stuff that's been coming out, like I said, Between Two Ferns, Undone. There's a bunch more stuff coming up the pipeline, some actual screener stuff, not just Netflix stuff. And yeah, be sure to check that out. There's one of us on there and go to Screener Squad.
Oh yes, and Ganja, are you there, sir? I don't think he is. But here's the thing, though.
He's-
The Metropolis. You guys can go over here to Metropolis and watch all the stuff that you do. They have a Patreon. You can go over there and donate. So you can get certain content out of the Patreon. It's actually pretty cool. Also, do Illuminati podcasts. So I know they put them up on Facebook. I don't know about YouTube yet, but if you guys want the YouTube link, I'll actually put that out there, especially for next time when we do this part of the show. And I'll show you, because I couldn't find it either. I was like, where the fuck is our YouTube page?
Well, we'll start putting more embedded links, but for the people that are watching this on Facebook, there's an embed link in the Chat Tech Facebook that goes directly to the Metropolis. The Metropolis has all sorts of stuff. A lot of the videos are up there. We do have a YouTube channel as well that I'll work on getting that embedded link in there to make sure it's easy to find. But there's also other stuff on the Illuminati podcast, something me, Ganja, and Ruthless work on. There's other stuff, including ARPG, where they talk about politics in video games. There's also VCR, where they go, they have an episode that did really, really well, talk about Thundercats. They have a new episode in the pipeline that's coming up in the next couple of days. So be sure to check out that stuff. If you're just curious to see both video games and political stuff from us and other people that are associated with us, be sure to check that out. The Metropolis, there's embedded links in the chat attack.
Oh, yes. And then, last but certainly not least, Jet, where can they find you?
Once again, you can find me on Facebook. You can send me a friend.
Why her specific Facebook page? Like, you don't put
But yeah, you
anyone
can't
else's.
find me anywhere else. Like,
But why? Who needs to find you?
But they can find
Why
you.
don't they need to find
They already
me?
know where to find you.
They don't even know how to find me. They don't even know what one
yes,
of us
they
is.
can.
I like how you almost fucked that up. Like, how did you almost fuck that up?
I don't know. I'm tired. I haven't eaten all day.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you doing that Ragnarok thing again?
No, it's Ramadan, and I just
Oh.
have a shitty sleep schedule, so I didn't eat all day.
Jesus. Also, too.
I got a pickle if you want one.
Oh, I'd rather die.
And by the way, Alan, just for you, okay? Because I know you don't like that. I only do Jet's Facebook, so I'll make it
Don't
better.
put my fucking Facebook up. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
what are you
don't worry.
doing?
I'm not gonna do that. Roxanne.
Okay, I'm about to
Tell
say,
them where
don't
they
put
can
my
find
fucking
you.
Facebook up. I'm trying to make people avoid that shit.
Go
Click
to
clack
Roxanne.
down the track. You can find me at Roxanne Flores on Facebook. Check out my memes and news and random shit.
Hold on.
I like
I
some.
gotta look at this really quick. That
What?
face. This is us
That
at
is
Buffalo
like-
Wild Wings.
Everyone's just mad. Me and
Y'all
Eddie
look-
are also there, by the way.
But I
Yeah, I'm
never
here
got my
also.
food.
Y'all look disappointed like a motherfucker. God, what a shitty place.
It was still daylight, by the way. By the time we left, it was nighttime.
Yeah, yikes. What a fucking experience. Anyways, guys, we're getting the fuck out of here. Go get yourselves a Buffalo Wild Wings. It's actually nice because it's not in Miami at the fucking Dolphin Mall. Thank you very much for watching once again. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. And it's time for us to get the fuck out of here. I'm not saying tap the chat. Music. Yes. See y'all in the Discord, man. It's gonna be you, Alan. You have to give them the link. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck that is.
How do you this technologically capable and also technologically
Here's a
incapable at
fucking
the same time?
stupid.
Yeah, but how are you this stupid and this smart at the same time?
Alan's wrong.
Pick a lane.
Pick a lane.
Halloween 5 is pretty good. Better than 4 and definitely better than
Halloween
6.
movies.
Halloween
Give me
4
your
is just...
fucking your horror card, goddamn.
I never had one.
Well, are you trying to have one then? Trying to copy
I'm
me?
not.
Trying to take
I
my
just
gimmick,
watched it
you
because I want to
motherfucker?
fuck with you that one day.
Just trying to
It's
take
still
my
gone
gimmick.
though.
Want to review 10 movies in one fucking sitting, and I did it.
Do you think Guy's having a good poop?
Yeah,
Good enough that
yeah,
you
he's
missed half
taking
the
a while with a
show.
little backed up.
The anal tears.
Ugh.
Because you don't need